remember to record. Everyone in the chat can hear me now. Wonderful. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wandering Inn. It's a good start as always. I'm just waiting for the complaints that I've put Safi a bit too big on.
I know. Keeny's head's really small.
I'm sorry,
It's
Safi.
realistic.
I had to make it fit.
I think it's perfect. She's the main bitch. It works.
Yeah, it's cool.
No one's gonna jump with it. Okay, thank you.
As just a completely out of the blue sidebar before we even start trying to be professional, have you seen Safi on Glitch, the show that PG GM'd on my channel? She was Queen Bitch on Glitch.
Yes.
Such a cool fucking like cosplay, let's call it. And
Safi's
character.
queen, makeup queen. I've watched her do it before. It's pretty wild. Like quick too, which is
I'm
impressive
gonna pull
beyond
this
reason.
sidebar back and come back to this show that we're
Yeah.
doing now.
Sorry. So you may have figured out that this is a slightly less official and etc. show this time, just purely because we're playing a game called Microscope, which is a collaborative world-building TTRPG kind of. Essentially, there's no GM. We get together, we chat about how we build the world. We even role-play out scenes and stuff, and yeah, we'll go from there. For those of you watching, anyone who's hearing this is watching Sheepy. For those of you watching, up top you will see essentially the thing I'm using to take down all the notes. So as we go, I'll be typing things out. I'll be kind of referring to it and stuff. You may need to full screen to see it. I apologize for that. I've done the best I can. So first stop, and seeing as we have a veteran of the channel here, she can go first. Let's see who everyone is. Safi, who are you? What do you do? Where do you do it? And why do you do it? Let's go deep.
Oh god. Stop it.
Deeper, Safi.
No.
I feel it in my kidneys.
Stop. Fuck you both for that. Hi there, I'm Safi. I'm a role-player and a video editor, and I sometimes stream on Twitch, but not right now. Oh god. And I spend far too much time hanging out with Sheepy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Okay, next person.
Okay, okay then. Next up, I will throw it over to one of the two new people on the channel. Spoilers, I'm not one of them. Let's go to Krusty.
Hello, I am Krusty, and that is my channel on YouTube where you can watch me do things. That is all.
It's hello. Is it? I am Krusty, not hello. I'm Krusty.
Yes.
Yes.
All of it? You?
I am Krusty, one word. It's not a statement. It's my YouTube name.
Yes. It is also a statement as well, though.
It can also be a statement. It can be whatever you want.
Brilliant.
Flexible, but not that flexible.
Speaking
What
of
does it
flexible,
sound like when you're
but not
flexible?
Welcome to my first time introducing. I'm sorry.
What is with you today?
I'm sorry.
It's a casual day, y'all.
Yeah, casual day. Classy Katie, yay.
Hey, y'all. My name's Classy Katie. Samesies as the others. I stream on Twitch. What's up?
It's not my name.
That's what you think?
Yeah. Yet.
Mm-hmm. Mysteries.
So,
You're all classy.
I like to think so, yes. Gotta have a goal to strive for. Mine is class.
I always feel like we're automatically classy, just being, British.
I mean, it's like default. That or a villain.
Yeah. I'm
One
good
of
with
the
either,
two.
to be honest.
I don't know if
It
there's a
makes
middle
sense.
with British people. There's either hello or right, and it's like you can't,
Well,
It's
see,
either too classy or get away from me, you smell.
they keep the right on like the bottom shelf, and they don't let them out much. They don't let anyone else in the world
Yeah.
see them. And
If things drip on it, don't worry about it. It's messed
Yeah.
up already. Just move on.
if you want to get out into the world, you have to basically study Hugh Grant for a couple of years, and then just
Oh gosh.
then you can leave the country.
Like you've got the Queen's English or the little fucknut from Oliver, and there's no in between.
That's it.
Fuck that.
Little Dick Van Dyke up the chimney.
What kind of show is this?
That sounded
no.
that sounded a lot dirtier than I meant it. All right, love, you want a little Dick Van Dyke up the chimney?
Nobody wants that.
No.
Well,
So
Maybe a little Poppins.
Mary, pop it in for a moment.
Oh, this descended so quickly. Okay.
Right,
So-
you start at the bottom, then you can only go up. Unless you bought a shovel, which I did.
How he exfoliates. The crust.
So
That's a noise I just made. This is a reactive kind of a thing. I apologize.
that's all right. It's not the worst thing that happens as I hit go live. So, should we get into the game? I'll start explaining it, and we'll basically. I hate myself because essentially anything I say is just gonna sound dodgy, but we're gonna feel our way through it. So you know.
Well, yeah. Of course we are.
No.
Why does everything sound like an injury?
I don't know. I don't know. I set the tone stupidly as the person running this. I set the tone. Now we're here. I have no other options.
This is what I get for asking if I can cuss.
Yeah, that's what set the tone. It's like, can I swear?
And then we just all said cunt for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Can't. Yes.
So,
Then we started
Sorry.
talking about Dexter. I got all excited.
yeah. Lithgow and bathtubs. It got weird.
Third Rock from the Sun. Also Lithgow in bathtubs. Deleted scene, but you should check it out. Okay, so Microscope. What is it? How does it work?
Science.
Science. So essentially, there's no kind of there's no campaign that we're doing here. What we're doing is we are collaboratively building a story. And the way that you do that is essentially you start up by coming up with a kind of like a sentence that describes the setting. So I've got a few prepared in case we don't come up with one.
Elephants in bubbles.
Yeah, it could be elephants. I don't know where I'd go with that, but that's the fun of it.
Out of the bubble.
Collect-
There's the struggle.
Oh, the start is elephant in a bubble. The end is
Yeah, the elephants would be like, how do we get out of this?
Elephant
Well, they're
farts
elephants. They go,
bubbles.
but like in elephant speak, it would be, how do I get out of this bubble?
Yeah. So
And
to give you an idea, the rise of piracy in a fantasy world. You start with that as like your big picture, and you build off that.
Pirate elephant.
Pirate elephants. Essentially, you go on from that decision to adding and banning things. Basically, you have a yes and a no column, where you take it in turns to say, like, rise of piracy in a fantasy world. I might say no magic. So there's no magic in this world. It's fantasy, but there's no magic. Or you could say no extra fancy races, so it'd just be humans in this kind of fancy world. You can set the technology level, you can do that type of thing, and then one of us, collaboratively will decide on the beginning period and the end period. So the beginning period would be like the first pirate rises. And then the end period could be like the death of the last pirate. And then we take it in turns to create periods, to create events, and to create scenes. How are we doing so far?
I'm excited.
Okay. So the way... we'll go with a simple example to begin with. So what you do is you'd go, okay, I'm going to create an event in the Rise of the First Pirate. And that would be like the first pirate creates his crew, like forms his crew, hires his crew. And that would be the name of the event. Say I did that, and then the next person to take a turn would be, for example, Krusty. And Krusty's like, I want to play that out. So Krusty, you'd say, I want to create a scene for that event, for the first pirate crew. And then we'd all jump in, do a little role-playing, and see how that played out. We'd create characters for it, we'd, play out the scene, and everyone can role-play however they want in terms of, essentially getting there. And the purpose of scenes is to figure out how things happen and what happens. All you have is the first pirate crew is formed. You don't know how it happens, so you play out the scene to figure out how it happens. So that's the very basics of it. It's kind of simple but hard to grasp. As we go, you'll pick it up and you'll go along. If there are any questions, feel free to ask, because I made multiple mistakes. I probably don't understand the game as well as I think I do. And yeah, let's... So, first up, we have the big picture. Essentially, this is the setting. I'm pretty much happy with doing anything myself personally. I have about 7 to 8 ideas that we could do, but if you guys have anything specific you'd like to spitball or create, I'm down for that too. Which is the biggest issue when you're being creative, is like, you can think of anything you want, go. It's like, oh good, can't think of anything.
I mean, I'm down to some of the ideas that you've already
let's see your stuff first.
All the pressure's on me, good.
Yes, it is.
So, these are the ideas I had for the big picture, basically the setting that we're going to be working within. The rise of piracy in a fantasy world, the civil war of an interstellar empire, discovery of a new continent, political intrigue in a kingdom with too many heirs, dimensional rifts start to appear randomly around the world, a lost ship finds itself isolated in an unexplored galaxy, first contact with an alien race, and the slow fading of magic from a magical realm.
Right, which one of those stuck in everyone's heads?
I can work with anything. I don't want to make decisions.
Okay.
not at this part. I just want to go.
Can I hear them one more time?
Sure.
Because I did like a couple, but my brain doesn't hold on to shit very well.
Yeah, no problem. If any of them stick out to you, just make a mention. The rise of piracy in a fantasy world, the civil war of an interstellar empire, the discovery of a new continent, political intrigue in a kingdom with too many heirs, dimensional rifts begin to appear randomly around the world, a lost ship finds itself isolated in an unexplored galaxy, the first contact with an alien race, or the slow fading of magic from a magical realm.
Right, so I noted down 2 of those.
Okay.
So it was the first one, the piracy in the fantasy world.
Yeah.
Or the political intrigue, the kingdom with too many heirs.
Okay.
Politics are boring, aren't they?
I didn't say that.
I heard it, and it's sort of like what spoke to me, sort of like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was
in
gonna
a way.
say.
Oh yeah. I mean, pirates.
Pirates are always fun. CK, do you have any leanings?
I wrote down the pirate one as well.
Okay.
I like pirates. Pirates are fun. And I wrote down the isolated ship, but those could go together, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought the idea of the isolated ship was pretty cool.
Well, if everyone likes the idea of pirates, shall we give that a whirl and see where we get to?
Let's do this, Sunshine.
I'm into it.
All right. So the big picture will be that the rise of piracy in a fantasy world, and we'll expand on this. Next up is the palette. Essentially, At this point, we take it in turns going around. We can add or ban anything we want. So, like I said before, you could ban things like advanced technology. You can ban things like steam power. You could include things like steam power. It is essentially still collaborative. We do have to agree on what to add or release, but we give suggestions and see how it goes. So I would say first up, I think to keep it reasonably simple and so everyone has a vague skeleton idea, we could include D&D races as being like something in this world, because everyone knows the D&D races for the most part. It's fairly easy to reference.
Definitely, we do.
Well, so is everyone good with that? Okay.
Sure.
So I'll put in D&D races, and they don't have to be included, but they essentially exist in this world, so we can use them as a reference. We'll go essentially around, I think, which unfortunately for you, Katie, means you're up next.
Yay! That's not unfortunate. I'm down.
Okay, cool.
So D&D, so we can add or ban this round.
It's a theoretical fantasy world. You can add things in that you feel should be included, or ban things that you feel shouldn't be included. Like, for example, black powder. Do you want guns? Do you not want guns? That would mean cannons, etc.
Can I take away the sun?
Yeah, if we all agree.
Yes, let's do that.
The world that just lives in moonlight.
Eternal darkness?
Yeah.
Well, there won't be moonlight if there's no sun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It will just be dark.
Okay, so
Be like someone got a role play as Vin Diesel.
Ooh, I love that movie.
So
I've never seen it. I just know he's in a dark world.
No sun.
And he's Vin Diesel. He probably does something like.
Which means, Safi, you're up for yeses and nos.
So, because we've got obviously we've got no sun, we're gonna have to try and think of alternative methods of creating light and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So I'm sort of thinking of like saying yes to like almost like the introduction of like I say it like the industrial kind of era.
Maybe like a steampunk kind of era.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So yes,
like learning like mechanics and cogs and like oils and gas lamps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like League of Legends kind of vibe.
I like that.
I like that vibe.
Steampunk. Fantasy steampunk. Okay, I'm in for this.
Fantasy steampunk pirates with D&D races.
And no sun. Don't forget the no sun.
It's my dream.
Man brings on classy Katie. She's like, fuck the sun, first thing.
Everyone dies. Show over.
Yeah. Okay.
Oops.
Krusty, do you have anything you'd like to add or ban?
Why don't we make like every god that has ever existed, like through humanity, just make it real.
The gods are real.
All the gods are real. Every one of them.
Are we talking about like real world Earth gods? Because that could get dicey.
Yeah, everyone.
Okay.
Everyone.
All right.
Damn.
Every civilization.
I
Everyone.
love that.
Oh no, that's
I could explain the lack of sun.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
they're just
almost
being dicks.
banned.
No,
gods
I won't
there
give
for
the
a
sun
second.
back until you apologize.
The gods are real.
How would they like interact with society though? Like if they're on the
Well, I mean, if you're Zeus.
I would
Become a swan and rape bitches.
should,
Yeah.
should
Zeus.
That's Zeus.
Yeah.
And then you go, Zeus, stop that. And they go, sorry.
Zeus, stop that. We
You
ban
little
swans
scamp.
now.
You stop that.
Zeus
Are you
made
doing
an
raping
OT.
again? You shouldn't.
Fucking Zeus.
Fucking Zeus.
Should we go with
The problem.
Should we go with mythological gods, which would be like kind of like
Like the Greek.
or like ancient gods maybe? Oh no, but that's still
Every
ancient.
god.
Yeah, Every god? Okay.
He says every god.
Okay, so I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a religion, like a modern religion like Christianity, and they all believe a different idea of Jesus, does that mean there's a different Jesus?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
There's
Okay.
like 16.
It's like
Dude, I love it. I'm into
shiny version of a Pokemon. It's like I got Jesus in sandals. Yeah, well, I got Jesus in just a bathrobe.
All I'm gonna say is if we end up with a scene where we all have to play out
a Jesus.
four different Jesuses having a fight walking on water, I'm gonna be pissed.
4 Jesus walking to a bathhouse.
Who needs a steamship when you got fucking Jesus powers?
Jesus, give us the sun back.
Bitch, I am the sun.
I can't. Dad took it. You are Dad.
Oh,
Okay.
Circular conversations between the Jesuses would be fantastic.
I don't want it, but I think it may happen now.
Just really boring conversations. I ordered this box from Amazon the other day, and it just hasn't. Well, when you magic it there, that's not. I can't. It should be here. That's the point. Got enough money. Should make sure.
At which point, I believe I am up next, and it's unfortunate because I've been enjoying the conversation so much I haven't thought about my next one.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Feel free to carry on while I desperately try and think of things to add or ban.
I was trying to think of my next one too, honestly. I was trying to think of a warmth source. Now that I've taken away the sun.
Oh no!
What about like warmth and light only comes from within?
Well, those who are true of heart.
Yes.
I think,
If you're really bad, then you glow more, so people can see you and go, "Gosh, what a dick."
It's like a human like Firefly.
Yeah, if you're really good, you're just in the darkness, so you can hide.
How can you hide if you'll be really, really bright?
Well, you can't hide if they come closer. Take it up with the gods. There's enough of them.
how about an integration of magic and technology to allow for like heating, you know, so like you magic you can use to like have radiators and lights and things like
instead
that.
of gas or something like that.
Collectively, as a human race, we didn't pay the sun bill, so the gods took it away.
Yeah.
It's just
We
the
didn't pick
idea
a
of like
Jesus.
using magic to heat the radiators just reminds me of Monsters Inc. How the entire city ran off of screams.
Yeah. We can't have it run off screens.
I think you just turn it on. No, sparkle.
How do people feel about that? The magic.
I like that.
integrated?
Magic is like an energy source.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Into...
it's hex tech, man. I know I play too much TFT, but that's all I can think of.
Has Sheepy just 100%? Yeah, he misspelled that word. That's fine. So next up is Katie again.
I mean, wasn't that technically hers? The magic being heating, wasn't that her idea?
Well, I shamelessly stole it because I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head.
Keep it. No, that's good.
You can go for things like factions, like, you know, there's one big empire, or there's, you know, lots of small kingdoms, like just kind of vague settings for the world.
Let's do. Oh man,
Yeah.
I almost.
Almost killed God as well, you know, just to get rid of the sun.
There's enough of them. It's fine.
I'm trying not to take something away this time.
Huge meteor strikes every day, just murdering millions of people.
Then one of the other gods might like bat them away with like a giant tennis racket.
One punch.
They
Man
can
turns up.
compete for our love. You know.
Let's
They're
go with
powered
like
by love.
continent, like kind of like the way the world is, like it's continental, like rulership.
Okay, continental.
Continental, like each, like the island, whatever. Each island, it tends to city up in the middle and then spread out,
Okay.
but they're all run by a camel, like a sentient speaking camel,
All of them.
obviously. Yes,
Okay.
you have. That is like an that is the only race
continental
allowed to lead any
faction.
form of lead, and it allowed to be in any form of leadership.
Well, so should we go for camel ruling A camel
Like a
rule.
dynasty?
Yeah, like a camel dynasty. Okay. Okay.
I was gonna say something, but with like
Kind of like, you know,
iguanas.
some current countries that like just send out their kids and they're like, now you're the duke of that place.
Yeah.
Like they don't agree, but we think you are. Like that kind of shit.
I've put.
Yeah, but it's a camel.
I've put camel-led dynasties.
Yes.
So there are multiple dynasties led by camels.
Excellent.
My next one is going to be a no, and it's going to be no more classy Katie. But next up is Safi.
Today was real fun, guys.
So just try and put a little bit of a cap on some of the craziness that we've come up with.
I mean, you know, that's
So yeah, all gods are real,
yeah.
but they can only use their powers on like one day of the year, and it's like a chosen like ceremony day, and they can use their
Is it-
powers like for good or evil.
Is it the only day the sun turns up?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sun can show up on
That's
like
a
one
good
day a
one.
year.
Okay.
Can the sun be like the baby face in Teletubbies?
No.
Can I know Krusty now? Can we?
I feel like we've got a definite divide between the camel baby people and the non-camel
Non-baby
baby
people.
people.
We've got agendas. Let's not try and hide it. I am glad you said the camel thing though, because I was going to say basically the same thing, but with like iguanas and dinosaurs. So we're on that zone. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Safi, help.
Oh yeah, so on one day a year, on Halloween,
Yes.
I love this.
The
Ooh,
sun
Halloween.
returns to the sky. And that is the only day in which the gods can actually use their powers. For like the rest of the, I don't know, for the other 364 days of the year, they're just like regular Joes kind of thing. Then that one day they're powerful again. Basically, you gotta try and be nice to them into the lead up to that day, so they don't remember you calling them a dickhead and they don't turn you into an iguana.
You can.
So is that day like the purge, kind of? Yeah. Like considering
God,
how many
we
gods
have-
there
we-
are, like do all the humans go underground and just like, oh shit, fuck, and it's like thunder and lightning and camels.
Yeah, so we've invented the purge.
Have we just
Love
made
this.
the purge in Arcane? Is that what we've done?
Well, on like the day, I mean, there's not enough days in the year for every god, but like, let's say there's the day of Ares or the god of war for whatever one.
Yeah.
And they all have to be on the same day.
He's like, go to everyone fight, and then like when midnight strikes, everyone just stops and apologizes,
I'm awfully
like no matter
sorry.
where they are.
Don't know what came over
Like
me.
getting caught with your
ripping
pants
someone's
down.
eyeballs out. I'm so sorry.
Happy Aries Day. Oh,
Yeah.
my sword's still in use. Sorry about that.
I know, it's all got to be on like the same day though, because like there's so many gods that'd be
Yeah.
a day on every day of the year, and you have to try and like keep track of them all.
There are more gods
Yeah,
than days
I
of the
imagine
year.
they try to
Yeah.
beat each other out. Like all the Jesuses would be like, I'm Jesus. And try to like drown each other while walking on water and stuff. Like, it
Just
would
have
be
a-
really-
So they all only get the
Like a
powers on the
playful
one
kind of
day
a
of
way.
the year when
Drown,
the sun
you bitch.
reappears.
yeah. when the sun- so the one day a year, everyone can go out and get their D.
Yeah.
Like it's just an atomic warfare.
This is.
Sick.
I'm interested to see whether this is. Okay, so I believe next up is Krusty with a yes or a no.
Um,
I'm gonna try come up with a
Well,
no.
there's, like-
We've had a lot of yeses.
there has to at all times be a belt of land or like exposed flesh around the whole planet with chickens every little millisecond there plucking and moving around to massage the earth, because the earth is actually alive, and if you don't keep it massaged and gentle, it'll do like a burp and like everything will die.
Okay. I'm gonna
It's alive. The earth is alive.
I'm gonna
Like you
translate
go,
that.
and then like the volcanoes erupt, and there's like
They're like
tsunamis.
those little birds that eat the bugs off rhinos' faces.
Yeah, but yeah, like chickens, because they're like they're like that all the time. So
Have
if you stop that, the earth just goes fuck you. Then
have you ever sat up after a night out with a whole load of friends and just had a conversation at about 5 a.m. Because
I live in a state where
I'm there right
shrooms
now.
were legalized, so
Oh.
friends.
So I'm gonna translate that to Chicken Equator.
Yeah, Chicken Equator.
Ooh.
Yes,
Yes. Good.
it's like the
and
rings
it,
of
like,
Saturn,
it has
but
to go like
chickens.
all the time. Like nothing can disrupt it. The second it's disrupted, like everything's done because the Earth is alive, and it's made of skin.
I'm going to put Chicken Equator in brackets plus maintenance. Means.
Skin.
Okay. I'm gonna desperately find something to ban before it gets too crazy.
I love it.
Oh god, what is there to ban?
Sandals.
Sand?
Shaving.
Shaving?
Just shaving. Yeah. Everyone's very hairy.
I'm
Flying.
Birds are pissed.
I'm going to say no. This may help with the god thing a little bit as well. I'm gonna say no high magic. High magic essentially being like throwing fireballs and stuff like that.
Yep.
Essentially, it limits so magic exists and it can be utilized, but it's in a much more practical way instead of the ridiculous teleporting and throwing fireballs and stuff.
Yeah.
So what would be like practical magic, like opening a letter without cutting yourself or something like that?
Yeah. Also, like creating light. Like weather magic, things like that. More manipulative or light creation as opposed to kind of like destructive magic.
Right. Okay.
No, like one-shot shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense. So someone said something in chat that raised a question in my head that actually is a good question. Like, so the rest of the year, can the gods just be killed? Like, are they not godlike?
Yeah.
I mean, if
wouldn't
they can
people just go out and fucking?
Well, I mean, that's also something we can expand on when we start creating the periods and events and stuff.
Cool.
So, you do create the lore as you go along as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get me a necklace of god ears.
Should we do I think I started, so let's do another round, see how we stand. Hope we get a couple more those, and see where we're at as we do another one. So, Katie, you're up again.
I want to ban war.
Okay.
Ares is pissed now.
Yeah. Useless.
I had one job.
Like, there is no massive armies. Like, that's not the way. Maybe put it like that's not the way things are solved.
Okay.
Like, if two competing nations of camel leaders were like in an argument over something, it would not be a war.
They poke a straw in the hump of a camel and then shrink down, go into the camel through the straw, and then work it out inside the hump of the camel.
So
that's what they do.
Essentially, like, conflict exists, but
I'm trying to think of a way that they could.
Kind of large scale conflict doesn't exist.
Yes.
Otherwise, like, a pirate world would be awkward. Give me that, okay.
Well, I'm just thinking they gotta do it. They gotta be smarter instead of just whipping out a gun.
Yeah. Like it'd be very easy to have.
Difference between crime and war, though.
Yeah.
Big difference. Yeah.
Well, I
said war is like large scale, right?
I said like no large scale conflict, so you can still have I don't like you stab. That's fine. Just for the record for everyone, that isn't fine. Don't do that. But we're talking specifically in this world we're creating.
Fine for everyone else, apparently.
What if ants went to war?
Because
they're smaller than us.
I think it would be numerically large.
Numerically, I thought so. Okay, yeah.
What if they have if there's gonna be conflict, like if two warring nations are warring, I don't know another word, are definitely like at the peak where war would happen.
Yeah.
There's like some board game that exists within this world, like the cones of whatever.
They just sit down and play a game of chess.
And they have
how we won the war.
Yeah.
Just do Call of Duty and say bad things.
They just gotta sit down and chill and play Halo and something, something like that, like something ridiculous.
Oh, we can add.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I was building on the high magic. I was like, if there's none of those like extermination spells, I figured then gods would like try to build up war armies behind themselves. You know what I mean? And I don't want that.
Safi, you're up.
so engrossed in that conversation that I didn't think of anything.
It's my problem too.
I don't really want to add anything because I've already got like a lot going on in this world.
I do.
So we're in eternal darkness. There's no high magic. There's no such thing as war. In a steampunk pirate world with
camels?
continents ruled by camels.
With the
With D&D
chicken
races.
equator that needs
Yes.
to be
Chicken Equator.
maintained.
Yeah.
Hey,
Are they mechanical chickens, like steam run chickens?
Doesn't they just gotta have like the capabilities of a chicken and
Yeah.
the same sensations a chicken would give out to satisfy the earth of skin?
Yes.
Otherwise, bad time.
The Earth's got
Because-
scabies.
Yeah, essentially. Well, yeah. It's like needs constant itching and looking after. Otherwise, it throws a hissy fit.
I'm sorry, Safi, I brought up the chickens again. It's a hot button topic. Safi.
because we have no sun,
Yeah.
to obviously like to grow like crops and food and things like that. Crops can't just be like you shush with a bit of magic and be like shoo,
Yeah.
and like oh it's sprouted. They've got to mine for like a special like essence or something, which almost
okay.
acts as like fertilizer. So a lot of the like the production, I guess, the continuation of this society revolves around mining and excavating
And transporting.
to obtain this essence,
Yeah.
to continue the life of humanity, because they need that essence to grow food, to grow plants, to grow trees, because
Yeah.
there is no sun and magic somehow doesn't touch it.
I like that.
Mining for farming minerals, I put.
Yeah, like if we call it like the essence, because then obviously like the essence is going to be very it's going to be very valuable,
Yeah.
and obviously people are going to want to
There'll be cities that are way rich in it and cities that aren't.
Yeah.
yeah, it could almost be like the currency.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, it would inevitably probably end up at least one of them, like gold versus cash.
Cash for essence. There you go.
Haha.
Krusty, you're up.
Oh yeah, go on. If at any point anyone ever around the world says the word "ouch," they immediately turn into a little black hole, and incessantly sprout "Careless Whisper" by George Michael.
Is that a yes? I guess that's a yes.
Mm.
Okay, let's go for how do we say this?
George Michael Black Hole.
George.
George Michael's Black Hole. Grow up. If they say the word "ouch," they gotta say the word "ouch." So there could be like a world of people intentionally trying to get people to say "ouch" just so they can. There's a black hole, so they'd be sucked into it if they're close. Well,
Okay.
not necessarily.
All right.
I should remove things.
I'm worried that I'm not going to remember everything on here. I know it's on the screen
I've written
in front
down a
of
couple
me.
things to remove.
I mean, like I've been writing it down, but I'm not going to.
We haven't gone to the removal bit yet.
No, we're doing adding and
Oh, we've been
removing.
doing yes and
But
no's.
you could always tell when you have a group of role players because yes and, so there's a lot of yeses and it's harder
Okay.
to ban things.
Yes and or no but.
Yeah.
So like, can I add another one?
If you, I'll tell you what, if you want to replace the George Michael black hole, I'm perfectly cool with that.
Oh, and what about like, if you fall over, the clouds laugh at you?
Would there be clouds in a
Yeah, so
sunless
it's-
world?
Constant risk of humiliation.
I guess saying the
Everyone's very on edge.
like sentient precipitation.
Yeah, imagine like like Mufasa when he appears in the clouds.
Yeah.
Simba, but it's like pointing.
I would say that
It's
Given-
funny in my head. I would like to see it.
given the general clumsiness of people,
Yeah.
there'd be like a deafening cacophony all the year round where just
Yeah.
laughing clouds at people.
Yeah. And maybe it rains only on them for about 5 minutes afterwards.
How about sentient aggressive clouds? So like
I also like that.
so like the clouds have a sentience of their own, and they will intentionally follow ships and people and stuff and cause bad weather, like lightning strikes and that type of thing.
So they're almost like gods.
The gods lives in the clouds while they're not
They're steering it.
Yeah, just like they kind of possess the
Okay.
clouds. How does that sound?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want something like there's lots of clouds. Let's do something with them. They're fluffy and I don't trust them.
The clouds during their downtime. Okay,
During their downtime.
Yeah, you know.
Like they get back from work. Could have let off some steam.
One day a year, you know, I manifest on the world and I cause all loads of trouble. The rest of the year, I'm a cloud. You know, it's an easy life. I drift around.
Okay.
Which
It's like they see something they don't like in like June. Like some guys like, you fucking wait till September, buddy. Just plotting.
You ever feel like you're being followed? Just
Yeah, because you are. It's that cloud. Clouds in the shape of a
depression
gun.
medication commercials. Do you feel sad?
Not sad enough.
Blue.
Yeah, one of the patrons in the chat is like, the world we made with Sheepy was downright sensible compared to this. Yeah, we had an interesting world when we were doing that last time. But
I'm trying to tone it down.
it'll be good. We'll figure it out. Okay, so we'll do one more round, I think. If a couple of you can come up with a no, I'm gonna try and come up with a no.
Okay.
Just to ban a few more things, I think, or exclude a few more things. I think, did we add? Okay, so we didn't. I think what I'm gonna say is, no large land masses like continents. So that would explain why there's a lot more piracy and a lot more. It's because there's a lot more islands, smaller kind of like places and nations. And good news for everyone, lots more camel dynasties to go around. So I'll say no large.
If
land.
food is harder to come by because you got to mine a certain mineral, does that up the chance of cannibalism? That'd be okay.
I honestly hadn't thought about it, but I think I think there's a higher possibility.
You didn't think about cannibalism?
No.
I wake up thinking about it.
What? Who are you?
I think like that would also explain the no mass conflict. If there's a lot of smaller islands, it's harder to have like big wars and stuff because it's all going to be at sea and things like those. So you probably like there would still technically speaking be naval engagements, but I guess they just don't do that.
With like two ships fighting wouldn't really be a war.
No.
I mean, war definition is large scale, right?
Yeah.
For the fort.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have a scrap, but not a war.
Katie.
Okay, I have a couple ideas written down, so I'm just gonna shoot them all, and then I figure we can all just decide what we agree as a group is the coolest one, if you want any of them, because I know it's our last round. I wrote down no one can feel pain, so they can't say ouch.
You're canceling out of the. Oh, we don't have.
So
to
it's like you
we
gotta
don't have to
trick
do that.
people
I have other
say it.
ideas.
Okay.
And then my other one was, since we're in a really dark world with no sun, I figure people would be constantly like looking for the essence or looking for light sources, and I thought it would be a cool mechanic that fire never goes out.
Okay.
And then this one I thought about. This is one I thought I write really. I'm sorry.
Could be a problem.
Could be a horrible problem. especially if
Terry,
people
what
don't
have
feel
you done? You
pain.
dropped the matchstick.
What match? Fire just crawling up their face.
Oh, there
So when
goes
you were
another
talking about the
endangered
islands-
species. The dolphins are like, we finally worked out how to walk on land. Oh god, they're gone.
One person drops a match near the chickens, the whole world's fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's constant sense of danger. One little Guy Fawkes
that's
son
the
of a
worst
bitch gets a
idea.
funky idea in his eye.
So my other idea.
Yes.
was along with your islands idea and like how I previously said there's like no war and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought a cool idea would be that every like island empire or whatever, like the seas are basically controlled by dragons, or we're resting on them, and so our biggest struggle is mining around the dragons, and the dragons stop any sort of fleet of navy to ever even occur.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's the sea is not just this open ocean that we control. It's more of a tumultuous kind of thing, and maybe that's why we rely on pirates.
A bit more dangerous, like maybe like leviathans. So you think like giant sea monsters and things like that.
I fucking hate that stuff so much.
I'm so scared of the sea.
It's me too. I can't even play Subnautica without
terrifying.
peeing my pants. Oh, thank you. Same. But yes. But it's also a struggle in terms of the mining, because I figure if we're on islands, like you might mine down and hit water, right?
Mm.
And then like, you know what I mean? So the essence, and then I had one other one I wrote down. If no one likes that one, it's kind of okay. The miners, the people who mine essence, the longer you're exposed to it, your shadow disappears.
I was about to say, how do they have a shadow with no sun? But I guess there is artificial
There's
light.
light,
Yeah, there's
light,
light and things as well.
That was my
that
own
one.
That's
I was
just a
just
thing
trying
that
to think of,
sounds
like, a
really cool,
weird
but wouldn't
consequence.
necessarily like
It doesn't
ruin
really affect
anyway.
anything.
So. No, yeah, I like the sound.
If anything, I think it would create more of a class system. Like people be like, oh, look at that no shadow miner.
That's a very good point.
I like that.
I like both of them, to be honest.
I'm all in.
So I'm gonna put both in because they're both pretty cool. The Leviathans and the Loss of Shadow. Minor
So like if the chickens stop working and then the earth goes bleh, then like if you have a good relationship with your dragon, it might be able to save you.
I was gonna say, or they come up on land and fucking fuck us all up, eat us.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Safi. You
Alright.
you got any doors for us?
It's like I'm either like I don't contribute anything this round, or I end up adding something because I can't think of anything to like. I think that, oh, if I cancel out something, is it just gonna make it more work as opposed to
We'll do
limiting what we've already got? You know.
We'll do a last go through as well, and like see if we want to take anything out or add anything else in that's super necessary.
If you get an idea later, it's not like any of us are gonna be like,
Yeah.
no, Safi, your time is up, bitch. Sit down.
No, I was just thinking, in terms of like traveling, like between the islands and stuff. Like I suppose like the ability to travel is more of like either a prestigious thing or needs of importance thing.
Yeah.
So not many people have traveled, and if they have, left the island, their continent, it's in suspicious circumstances.
Yeah.
Very sneaky. So it's like you have to have almost like these special tokens. Oh god, I just realized I'm becoming the UK.
Maybe like a noble navigator class, like essentially people who travel. People who are captains and navigators tend to be nobility because it's a prestigious, which adds to the class system that we've already established with those damn no shadowers.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking
just thinking
it would be good with like pirates and stuff, because obviously if they're pillaging other ships, it's either pirates v pirates, or pirates v nobles, or pirates versus large cargo.
If pirates are rising in a fancy world, I mean, they would be the nobles, technically, right?
Well, or they could be the
I don't know.
like the lower classes rising up against the nobles. Like it wouldn't just be piracy; it would be like civil war, rebellion. Like,
And have war.
It's civil disagreements, rebellions,
Oh.
A wee bit of strife.
yes.
Yeah, but
I
basically,
like the idea of it being like a privilege to travel.
Yeah, like to get out on the, to basically get out on the water or to get to other islands and stuff.
Ooh.
Either you need to be prestigious enough to be able to do so, or you're doing it almost like illegally.
Can I add guilds in with the nobles, like seafaring guilds?
Sure.
Essentially, like you have to go to an academy and like to become a seafarer, like even like a regular sailor.
Okay, yeah.
And there'd probably be ones that default. What is it? Default? And they'd be like the ones that would smuggle you, like do the illegal transporting and.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
Which means Krusty. We have.
Which means Krusty.
Your final contribution.
What about removing the need to breathe at all? So you don't need oxygen to breathe. But everyone is essentially hollowed out, and inside there's like a bucket of water, and if it empties completely, they die. So you can open them up like a skin fridge, and then if the bucket's empty, they die. So you got to always keep your bucket empty, and you can't rock too much.
Where's the opening?
Well, just your belly button or your nipples, whatever you want to.
Like a cone head?
Me at med school.
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
They give birth out their belly button. It's pretty wild.
How about?
Well, not like that.
A closed circuit respiratory system for the sentient races. Essentially means that for a limited period of time, they can recycle the air supply within themselves, which allows them to be underwater longer, which allows them to not have to breathe in the mines for a while.
That's sick.
I'm sensing you're not liking my bucket idea.
It's very abstract.
And it's destroying me internally.
How about the bucket is a religion, and there's a group of people that believe there's a bucket inside of themselves, and there is a grand bucket.
Yeah, so if you tip too much, then your bucket empties and you die. But you got nothing inside of you.
But really, we just have a closed respiratory system. Like, y'all are nuts.
There's nothing.
So
off in the bucket, and a shelf to have the bucket on, of course.
Of course. Instead of a soul, people would be said to contain a bucket.
Yes.
Okay.
The bucket can be made out of anything.
Would the god of the great bucket be the handle?
Could be, yeah. The great handle in the sky.
The great handle.
The earth can be shaped like a bucket.
But you said all gods were real.
Yeah.
We have a sentient bucket.
So the handle wouldn't be in the sky; it'd be down on Earth.
True.
God can be real and be in the sky.
Would it just be like literally a bucket handle would just like appear on a brick and just like
the year.
One day of the year there is bucket handle.
So people can only be alive one day a year. Gotta get it all done.
Okay. So everyone brace yourselves as we go back over these. So the general setting we have is D&D races in a steampunk setting. The gods are real and magic is integrated into technology. We have camel-ruled dynasties. So sentient camels rule. They are like the upper class of upper class. They are the royal class. One day a year, the sun returns. Gods can use their powers on that day. There is a Chicken Equator that requires maintenance. For farming, there is mining for minerals and essences to use in farming, essentially. Gods possess the clouds during their downtime. Multiple sea leviathans.
I just replied to them.
Multiple sea leviathans plague the seas around all of these islands. Miners suffer from a loss of shadow, which has created a ruling, working, etc. class, essentially a stratified class system. Noble seafarer. I spelt noble wrong. That implies they won a prize. They did not run a prize. Nobele, or even worse. Noble seafarers, along with guilds and academies.
I just want to let you know, I too spelt it Nobel on the paper I'm writing on.
So
just
glad.
so you don't feel so bad.
I'm so glad it wasn't just me.
No.
The concept of souls is replaced by a full bucket. Oh. And there is no sun, aside from once a year. There is no high magic, there are no large-scale conflicts, and there are no large land masses.
I have a question.
Yes.
So if we do have sun one day a year, does that mean we have a moon? Because the rest of the time it's behind the earth but reflecting off a moon?
Well, if you haven't taken it away yet, then yeah.
Yeah,
So we have some moonlight then, right? I didn't totally fuck us.
Yeah, let's have a little bit. We can.
Hey,
Well, there'd be no
Sappy.
point if the sun's only around for one day and you can only see the moonlight at night. Then it's pointless anyway.
Yeah, instead of having, like a different moon phase every night, you would just over the course of the year watch the moon change, right?
The moon's just a spotlight that just shines down.
With the Teletubby baby face.
Okay.
364 days a year.
So, would anyone like anything taken off of this list, or if anyone can think of anything else, we'll throw it open forum for these things. I think the one that's going to be the hardest to work with. Krusty knows that's him.
I was just kicking the bucket. Made me laugh.
Kicking the bucket. Is the Chicken Equator is we might need to tweak that a little bit.
Parrots.
I mean,
Yeah.
What I was thinking is the need to have a maintained Chicken Equator.
Yes.
It's got to be. You need to figure a way for them, like maybe like a chicken Panama Canal. You need to get through to the other side of the continent. But
that's just, you got to work it out. It means you got to constantly breed chickens, so there's not a gap in the chickens.
Yeah.
Chickens die. You got to be ready to replace them straight away.
But how are we going to have a constant strip around the equator if we're along little continental islands?
It's fantasy, damn it! It can happen.
It's real to me. I would say like maybe at 2 points. I guess we hadn't decided whether it was a round world or a flat world or a square world or whatever. But
I don't give the flat earthers hope.
Oh.
I would say
They got none anyway. Don't worry about it.
we can expand on it. We could expand on it later, but possibly the idea of 2 points, which are like difficult to traverse, but allow you to go to the other side of the equator.
You can make a bridge over them.
Like a water
Have
bridge.
you guys ever seen that creepy video of the turkeys circling a dead cat because they don't know it's dead?
No.
No.
Oh my god, it's wild. Like turkeys have this really weird, like broken brain where they'll just follow each other eternally. And there's a video of 20 turkeys, and in a perfect line, they just circle a dead cat for like an hour because they don't know it's dead and they're that stupid. But what if like at the North Pole and the South Pole of whatever shape world we have, there's like a circling circle of chickens that are stationary on that continent, just constantly circling something, and that's massaging our
And
skin
they
planet.
work for Santa.
And they work for Santa.
You can't invade his workshop. You unleash the wrath of the chickens.
I think technically speaking, Santa doesn't come under the god umbrella, so I'm not sure Santa does exist. But you can explore that.
I don't know what Santa does under an umbrella, but it's up to him.
Santa encourages home break-ins. It's wild.
He does. It's strange, isn't it? Mummy, there's a weird fat man sneaking around in the dark. Don't worry.
Totally normal one night a year.
One night.
Title of my autobiography.
Is it Christmas Eve? Oh,
Wait,
it was
did Sappy
yesterday.
make Christmas with the God Day?
Yes.
Good job,
Yes,
Sappy.
I did. It's Christmas, but it's on Halloween. Just invented Tim Burton.
So it's better.
So
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I think
Chickens, my momentum might even spin the earth. I don't know.
that's not a
You do it. I was just trying to keep the chickens for crust, man. I don't know.
No. You know what? If we can figure out as we go the mechanics of the Chicken Equator, I think we got this.
That's a sentence you just said.
It's a wonderful world.
I imagine like the travel smugglers would use this Chicken Equator as a way to jump between islands somehow illegally.
Yeah, I think
If it existed.
it would probably also be used for navigation.
Yeah.
Where there's maybe some type of magical compass that tells you where the nearest chicken is.
What's happened?
Like, okay.
Well, I said, hey, Katie, Krusty, would you like to be on this show? I'm doing about there's a game called Microscope. And I also asked Safi, which I'm going to have to apologize for later, Safi.
You look like you're having a lovely time.
I love it.
It's
So,
not because of
have you
this,
got-
but I've got such a bad headache.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boo.
I have that effect. I'm sorry.
So if you've ever seen, there's this really cool method that people garden where they'll have a garden plot, like
Yeah.
say it's a square, and then what they'll do is around the edge of the garden, they take like chicken wire and make a tunnel, and their chickens live in that. And it's a pest prevention thing, so no pests get into the garden because the chickens just constantly circle the garden and eat all the pests. But what if it was something like that, like a chicken wire tunnel that went around the earth?
Like a collaborative, governments of the world all band together.
Right? And maybe the nations have to get along because if one of them gets pissed off, they could just be like, fuck you, and eat all the chickens, and suddenly we have KFC.
You only got to like kick one chicken to get it out of line, and then
Then the whole system's fucked.
True.
yeah.
They're wild.
But my idea is that they're exposed. So, they're exposed just on like a layer of earth skin. Hence the bridge is over 'em.
Let's push on.
If we must.
I'm pushing.
I'm happy. I'm happy with the palette of the general state of the world, which is probably something no one on this world has ever said.
Dude, I think it's
past like
cool.
2 rounds of us adding.
Well, it says like keep going until someone can't come up with something. I'm executive ordering and saying like let's stop there. Like,
Yeah, I'll just keep going.
but hey, if you come up with other ideas, we can always add things and in as we go. So now what we have.
If you don't sleep for 72 hours, Mr. Blobby comes for you.
It's like the
That's not everyone's gonna know who Mr. Blobby is.
I know who Mr. Blobby is.
Google Mr. Blobby, you'll see what I mean.
There's a certain nightmare-esque nature to Mr. Blobby without the he comes for you. Just watch a video.
Yeah. Well, he might not even kill you. He just kind of stares at you until he has to go get the next person. You can hear him in the depth of the night. Going whatever he said, whatever he did.
So what we do have to add now is a beginning and an end period. Essentially, these are. Let me just pull up the so I can give you a proper description and I don't mess it up too much. So the periods are a short description of like a section of time.
Ooh.
Essentially, you could be like you could have like a period which is if you were doing like a space thing, like a galactic empire building type thing, you could be like Earth is in a bad shape, but mankind now attempts to unite and work their way into proper space travel and interstellar travel, and that would be like the starting period of the interstellar empire. It's essentially like a quick description for what's going on in the period and how it affects the big picture. So for us, our big picture is the rise of piracy. So we'll start off with a beginning period to do with the rise of piracy and see how that goes.
Would it be beneficial to have like a small period, which is the pre-pirate empire?
That could be a good start, yeah. Okay, so we'll call the first period the pre-pirate era. And you also do label it with like light or dark. It's basically to like set the mood. I would call that one probably light.
We got our sun, so.
Metaphorically light. And I would say, do we want the final period to be the death of piracy, or like a kind of more world-changing shake-up of the status quo? I'd say those are like the main endings for where we're headed, as it were. Unless anyone can think of other possibilities.
What is sort of a bit of a shake-up? Like, instead of, like, because if we think of, like, where this piracy is coming from, it's people supposedly wanting the access of travel into other countries to be more than just these noble guilds. It's like a bit of an uprising, so it could be sort of like an overturning, and then be like, we've got to change this.
Okay, so like the final period in this like story, I guess, would be the social upheaval, or
in a way, I mean, it'd be sort of like, it'd be the ending. Yeah, it would be the death of piracy, but because there's no need for pirates anymore.
I was trying to think of the word for that, like the obsolescence of them.
So,
like how there's no need for milkmen anymore because we just go buy our own milk.
yeah, we all have cows now.
You do?
So, I think a good way to describe that would be like, changing the status quo. Does that sound, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because it's not really an upheaval.
yeah.
It's more just like, we don't need you anymore.
It just fizzles out.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Changing the status quo. That'll do. So pre-pirate era will be the monopoly of the noble. I spelled it wrong again. The monopoly of the noble.
The Nobel. It's fantasy. We can make it whatever we want.
Yeah. Monopoly of the noble classes and camel dominance. I hate myself. Dominance. Is that how you spell dominance? Nope. There we go. Dominance.
Spelling's overrated.
Via control of the seas, and then the final period will be piracy is, what was the word you used?
Obsolescence.
Is
They become
made obsolete as the ruling systems are, I want to say upheaved, overturned. There we go, overturned. So we've made it to this point at least, where we have a start point and an end point. Huzzah. So what we get to do now is essentially now we start to add in periods, events, and scenes. So are you guys happy with how the periods kind of work? Like, you'll have things like the golden age of piracy, or it could be, like the sinking of the HMS Nebitz or something, which I think is actually I think the Nemitz was a US battleship or something, and HMS...
It sounds really familiar.
HMS is British, so I just combined two things that don't...
It's fantasy, we do what we want.
Yeah, screw it. So, on top of that, you have events. So, events will be essentially like... Let me get the description for events as well, so I don't mess that up too much. First pass. Okay, focus, making history. There's the period. Events. Okay, so event is something specific that happens during a period, like a great battle or festival. Well, we won't have great battles, but it encompasses things that happen over a span of time. So period encompasses something that happens over a large span of time. Events are something more particular in a time or place. It kind of lets you create the lore as well. So, for example, in the kind of dominance, we could have like a Krusty, for example, could be like, I want to create an event. I want to create a terrorist attack on the Chicken Equator. and that would, begin in the rise of piracy as people get more discontent and things like that. And it would also allow Krusty to expand on the lore of the Chicken Equator. That's after they blow up the chickens.
The Chicken Equator.
After the Chicken Equator is blown up, it's then the Chicken Crater as they all fall in. But it allows you to expand on the lore as you like and things like that. And then you have scenes, which is like, say Krusty did create the terrorist attack on the Chicken Equator. I would say, let's do a scene of that terrorist attack. And we'd choose some characters and we'd jump in, we'd start role-playing a bit, and we'd role-play out the terrorist attack to find out how it happened and why it happened and etc. So you build on the lore and stuff as we go. Is everyone so far? Yes.
Huh? I have a shit ton of ideas written down as you were talking.
Beautiful.
But I have to pee so freaking bad.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So I'm gonna keep you on the hook and just go pee real quick. And then, but that I have lots of ideas that I want to throw out at you.
Perfect. So, I'll wait for Kate. I think I'll wait for Katie to get back so that we can, kind of collaboratively do the first one. Everyone gets a feel for it. How are you feeling about the world you created, Krusty? Well, with help from us, of course.
Could be weirder.
It could be weirder. I must apologize for occasionally putting my foot down and being like, let's.
How dare you stifle my stupid ideas? How dare you, sir?
I am
We're awful, aren't we?
I'm so
awful, terrible, just
stifling.
the worst. What if everyone has a pet ghost? They gotta feed it crackers. They're a ghost, so they can't eat it. It's ghost fruit, so they gotta clean out the crackers as well.
Do they store it in their soul bucket?
No, that's for the water.
Oh,
You're not listening to the law.
Sorry. Silly me.
Goodness.
But yeah, what do you guys think of Microscope so far? It's obviously it's a little bit different from how people would usually world build and stuff. But
yeah, I had no idea we were doing any of this. I thought that like the one thing I've done of roleplay stuff, I went in and there was like an elf or something, and then I don't know, I slapped someone at a party or something like that, and that was fun. That was all the stories laid out before, so this is new.
Well, trial by fire apparently, like
yes, which will never go out.
Sorry, that's true. Yeah, sorry to throw you in the deep end.
It's okay.
It's definitely new for me because it's like I've never done anything world building type before. So this is like my first approach to it is a chicken belt equator and no sun and steampunk pirates. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, one idea that I have for a possible future show is getting together with my patrons, doing this, and then saying whatever we create in Microscope, I will run as a show. It'll probably be a short or something, but still, I think that's I think that could be a lot of fun and possibly a horrific experience. So it's all gonna be good. All right. So, essentially, the way Microscope goes now is one person gets the lens. It's kind of like a theoretical. It's kind of like a theoretical first player kind of token type thing, where you get to create two things, and then it goes around, and then once we've done a full round, the lens passes to the next person, and they get to create two things, and then everyone creates as well. So you'll see how it goes. So, oh, and also as a sidebar, Safi has a bit of a headache, so if the camera's off at any point, it's because light kind of sucks, and it's easier to have a headache and not have blaring
Light
white
is the
light.
worst.
So taking away the sun as the very first act was
Sappy, you're
It's
welcome.
Very literal.
such
I
a
love you.
such fantastic kindness.
I too get
I've got
migraines,
to
and
sit
light
here
is
in
the
the dark
devil.
with both my monitors off so I can listen. Sorry.
Girl, you do what you gotta do, man. You're living it real.
I live in the darkness.
We all do now.
This is what my world actually looks like, so you're not missing out on much.
If everyone's okay with it, for the sake of like highlighting and giving you an idea, I will go first, and I will take the lens, and we'll do a little round, and we'll talk about these things. So, with the lens, I can create essentially two things. So I can create like a period and an event. I can create two periods, and you can place them wherever you want. So if you see on the, well, it's hard to see, I know, but essentially I've got a whole load of periods that can be placed in. We can place more, but essentially I'm going to, where do I want to go with this for the, I should have been thinking, God, I'm going to go with, you know what, right in the middle of all of this, I'm going to put the golden age of piracy.
Ooh.
So, there we go. Golden age of piracy. And once that's created, I will make that a, seeing as they're kind of, the pirates kind of feel like the good guys from what we talked about, I'm gonna make that light. And I need to add in this to say golden age period, and it's going to be large pirate factions begin to dominate the seas. Okay, and then I will add an event into this as well, because I have the focus. I can do two. I'm super important. This will be event
Special, he means.
Yeah, super special. For now, until it gets taken away from me. The event will be the Oh, you know what? No. The creation of... Not creation, the invention of submersibles.
Ooh, like submarines?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude. Imagine that powered by magic tech.
Oh, yeah. A pirate
so cool.
faction creates the world's first submarine. So that's very basically it. If you create an event, if you create a period, you can kind of describe what it is. And so, say for example, the next person up, apologies Katie, the next person up will be Katie.
I got a lot of ideas written down. I'm ready to be told I'm wrong.
So, say for example, Katie's like, "Ooh, submersibles. What happens there?" You'd essentially say, "Sheepy, I'd like to create a scene in that event, so we can find out how the submarine was invented and what they did with it, basically." And at that point, we'd all have a character. We'd all jump into the scene. We'd describe the character quickly, jump into the scene, and just role play out what happened when the first submarine was invented, or like reactions to it and stuff.
Okay, so
If you
Sheepy, I'd like to add an event
Oh yes, okay, event. Keep it.
to your. Well, is that what it's called? An event to your period?
Yes.
Okay. So, what happened was the pirates, the essence is extremely volatile and really hard to transport.
Yeah.
So there's certain island nations that weren't really nations because they had no access to it. It's not under their islands. They couldn't mine it, and they couldn't get it from other islands because no one knew how to transport it.
Okay.
And a pirate ship somehow gets like taken down in the sea by a big monster, but it's trying to transport essence, and the essence enables like the boat to be a submarine in some way, shape, or form. Or they realize it, like that the essence creates like a bubble of air around them, and they don't drown.
So that would be okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to.
And I at first I had that incorporated into like why the pirates are the only ones that why they kind of rose.
Yeah.
Because they found the secret to transporting essence. So then other islands could actually be like, populated.
So what you could do is have that be the golden age of piracy, create another event which would be how to like the transportation innovation, let's call it.
Yeah.
Where they figure out how to transport essence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Safely or whatever it does wrong to you, I don't know.
So we want another text, and this will be another event, and it will be the transport innovation, which would essentially be like the pirate factions across the world, develop and share the essence transportation techniques. Does that sound good?
Yeah, and they kind of keep it amongst themselves so then no one else can, and that's,
I'll put develop and share between themselves.
Yeah.
Between themselves. So already there's a certain like secrecy to the pirates now, where they're like, we figured this out, we're not giving it to everyone.
Yeah, kind of a monopoly on it a little bit. And like if an island didn't do what they wanted, they'd be like, you just don't get essence then.
Okay.
Good luck with everything.
So as I have the lens, I get to do two. Safi, you have the floor for the next period or event or even scene if you want to do any of those.
Okay. So we've just gone over the invention of submarines due to the essence being very volatile.
Yeah, and like you don't have to focus on this period, the Golden Age. You can create a new period with more details, or you can go to the pre-pirate era, the final. You can whatever you want in terms of timeline. Create more timeline, etc.
All right, I would like to jump back to the pre-pirate era, as I call it, the pre-pirate empire. So obviously, I would want it to be sort of, I guess this be a period. More of the societal unrest and more of the uprising of these, I guess, like pirate factions within society.
That could be like, just as an idea, that could be like the exodus of undesirables from the stratified society.
Okay.
Like the idea would be is that like anyone who's like considered a criminal or unneeded or unwanted is like exiled from their countries and places and slowly form like kind of
Australia.
Slowly form Australia, yeah. But that would be like the.
Almost feels like they're put on like a battle royale type island.
Yeah.
My God.
So should we call it the? Do you want it to be a period or an event?
I say it's an event.
Okay. In the beginning period.
Yeah, an event in the pre-pirate empire.
All right.
Pre-pirate era.
Event, and it would be the exiled. Is that good enough for you?
So yeah, the exiled. So effectively, it would be all of the. I don't know. So I don't know if I want them to be like the worst. This is where I'm like.
Well,
like 50-50 on it, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, do there need to be bad guys or do there need to be people of a lower standing who've had enough of the oppression kind of thing?
They could just be the essentially the outcast from the society, but we can all agree it's not a very good society. So they're not necessarily criminals. They just how about dissenters?
Undesirables.
Undesirables works too.
Yeah, undesirables.
Sorry.
Like if parents had a daughter that didn't want to get married
Yeah.
and they just didn't want to put up with her and deal with her anymore. Like that kind of, is that what you mean, Seth?
Yeah.
Like that level of just like,
But
you're not necessarily a bad person.
Societal
but,
outcasts.
yeah.
Would,
Like you might drop grandma on the boat.
would you be happy with like all the undesirables of the world's kingdoms? Okay, cool. So
None for that.
kingdoms are slowly exiled and form communities outside the law. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay.
So like, they'd all be exiled to like one island?
Probably islands, I would guess, because we haven't really decided on the scale, but I assume there's a fairly large number of islands and kingdoms and stuff, so...
Maybe
Yeah.
it's like one of those island strips. You know, those
Yeah.
huge, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a huge embankment of a ton of islands.
Archipelagos?
Is it an archipelago? I was thinking that, but I thought that maybe it was made up.
I think archipelago is like a system of lots of little islands all together, like really close.
Yeah.
So. It could also be like it could also be like there's like one big kind of almost wasteland island, but this is the type of thing we can expand on later, or if we do a scene, you know,
Yeah.
and I figure that type of thing out. So I will go next, just purely so that Krusty doesn't have to rush back. I'm so tempted to do it. I'll do another period, I think, first, and then I think maybe we can jump into our first scene, which will be fun. God, I've got to decide which one it's gonna be. Okay, so I think after the beginning period, I'm gonna put in here another period, which will be the rise of piracy, and that will be at text rise of piracy period. I'll just put a P in there. That'll be simple. So the rise of piracy will be when the first transports and shipping lanes are hit by pirates. Okay, and I'll throw in, so that will be a peeve there. Oh no, that's not how you do that. So how happy are you guys so far with what we have created?
Stoked.
like there's a lot that's quite wacky and crazy, but there's something about just figuring out the details of stuff like this that I really enjoy.
I love it. It's like storytelling, but with friends.
Yeah. Okay, and then there we go.
I wonder, would there be an age involving the dragons?
I did.
Are they involved?
I did put down leviathans.
Oh, the Leviathans, excuse me, yeah.
Dragons could. I think dragons could be included in the leviathans as well.
The sea creatures.
Yeah.
We all know what they are. They're
Um,
hell underwater.
I guess if, like, again, this is something you can essentially dictate with events and things.
Okay.
So if you, or even like a period, you could say like Leviathan's rise as a period, and give the descriptor like increased sea activity causes increased activity with the Leviathans, having them attacking ships more and that type of thing. Yeah.
Cool. I was just questioning. I had Leviathan written down and it freaked me out, so I figured I'd talk about it.
Krusty, I skipped you for a second. I made a period, but if you would like to
Do that?
if you'd like to create a period or event or scene.
Every April 1st, a barrage of whales rush towards the Chicken Equator. And
Okay, so
the world has to come to stop the whale barrage. Otherwise, the world blows up. Whales don't know. They're not as smart as I.
that could be an event, maybe. Like if you had it be one single instance where the nations had to come together.
Yeah. Should I explain that? Event!
Yes.
There you go.
Event.
There you go.
Okay. So where would you like that? We have the beginning period.
April.
We have the rise of piracy.
Every year.
So that would, if we're doing that, that would be more in the palette, like a yes type thing. You know, it's kind of set
like right at the end, so you know it's coming. Like the White Walkers. People don't believe it. Whales aren't going to come together and rush towards the Chicken Equator. It's just not realistic.
So this would be an event. Oh, I messed that up completely there.
Maybe that's the apocalypse of the bucketers.
Yeah, that's like the Ragnarok of whatever, like the camel people.
So this would be the, I'm gonna call this the whale apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Say aye or nay as to how well this sits with you. I would say like increased like overwhelming sea activity causes a mass what's it called, a migration of whale pods that essentially cause a threat to the equator.
Sure.
Mining might have done an earthquake and freaked him out too.
Yeah.
It could have been anything. You don't know what it is. You just know it's going to happen. Maybe. Yeah, all our buckets tip, then we're screwed. Black holes. Ouch. We got rid of the black hole. Whatever.
Those who don't make a bucket list just die.
Yes. You can like pimp your inside bucket. You can add like air fresheners and paint on it with like finger paints and stuff. You can put like a bath bomb in it.
Like people would want to camouflage it so it didn't look like a bucket, so people wouldn't try to spill it.
Everyone knows what it is because it's, you know, what else you don't have anything else in your apart from the bucket.
But if you camouflage it, maybe they'd be like, "Oh my God, it's God. They don't have a bucket."
Yeah, exactly.
And then they would.
Oh no,
your
I
bucket.
see it. I see it. No, that is a bucket. You almost fooled me. You almost fooled me. April Fools. The whales are coming.
So,
April Fools. The whales are coming.
what I am going to do is I'm going to add a scene to the invention of submersibles. So we're going to be playing out a scene.
We get to role play it, right? Yeah.
And essentially, I'll pull up the description of scenes, so we'll play out how it's kind of gone over. The way you make a scene in this, I have a really weird mouse setup at the moment where it thinks I'm scrolling up when I scroll down. It's very difficult to find things. Thank you.
That's annoying.
So when you create a scene, you pose a question, and essentially you attaching it to an event. So the event is the invention of the first submersible, and so I now create a scene, and I say a question that we have to answer through this scene, through this role play of what I'm essentially going to say is, what is the first submersible? What is the first submersible? Why would I choose the word submersible? You know what? I'm just gonna order. Yep, there we go. Spell check. Thank you. And then
A magical fishnet sock.
we set the scene. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create four characters for us. Give you a brief description on them. I'll pick the first one, and then you guys can pick the other ones in order, and we'll play it out like that. So we're going to have Dribble, the scientist.
Dribble.
Dribble, the scientist. We're going to have Jocasta, the pirate. Do we want? Would we be happy with the Pirate King as just a general term, or would we like to? Yeah. Okay, cool. So Jocasta, the Pirate King. First mate. Skipton. Skitpon. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Skitpon. And then we will have
It's like a Pokemon.
Skitpon, I choose you. And then we will have Kalos, the exiled camel prince. So, before I choose one, is there any that no one wants to play? Because I will happily play something ridiculous like the Camel Prince, but I have an idea for what I would like to go with.
I'll do any of them.
Okay. All right. In that case, Cheapy will choose Dribble the Scientist. Next up is Katie. Who would you like to embody?
I think I would like to be Jocasta, the Pirate King.
Jocasta, the Pirate King. CK. Safi?
I'm gonna go with first mate Skip.
First mate Skitpon?
Yeah, that one. I wanted to say Skipton.
Well, it was supposed to be Skipton, but I fucked it up. Krusty, if you like, I am still willing to take the Camel Prince.
I'm not a scientist either, so what's the difference, really?
Well, I mean, okay. If you're happy
Couple of humps.
Hey, you created this camel utopia.
No, I didn't. Camel wasn't my idea.
Wait, was that?
I did.
I accepted it graciously and willingly, but it's not my idea.
Well, you
I
both.
I was gonna do like the lizard version of it.
Oh,
But we got the camel version.
Okay, so if you know what I'll do very quickly, I will just change everyone's names so that they have so we can reference it without having to look at the thing. Oh, I put Pirate Kin. You know what it is.
I can be that.
First mate Skitpon. That's going to be confusing for me even with the name up there. And then Kalos. Kalos the Exile. So this is the kind of thing you can do in Microscope, is when you create events and scenes and stuff, you can build on the lore. So, you know, I've basically made it so that there are exiled camels who are part of the pirates, you know, the burgeoning pirate empire and things like that. So, dear God, I have to... Why did I take the scientist? I should have taken the prince. Now I have to figure out how this fucking works with the goddamn submarine in a steampunk magical world.
Magic, you can say anything. And if someone questions, just goes magic.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
So, I'll start us off because I've made us do this. So, welcome, Jocasta, your lordship, your kinglyship. I don't believe I've met your lieutenant. Who are you?
First name Skiptington.
Spictington. Good.
Skiptington.
And your lordship, the mighty camel, most humped of everything. Please forgive me for not acknowledging you first, your lordship.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm used to it. I'm excited. You don't have to treat me with respect.
No,
Camels spit, right?
Yeah, they
As far as
spit.
I'm aware, sir, the pirate king is a king and he's a prince. Therefore, the king ranks the prince, sir.
Brilliant point, Skittlepond.
How exactly does one become most humped?
We don't talk like that in my speech. I don't know how to answer that, really. How much have you got?
The title intrigues me.
7.
Oh. That's a lot of hump.
So there's a lot. That's why I've got 8 of them.
Where are they? Not on your back. Obviously.
Well, I'm hiding most of them. The doctor said it's best not to go showing them around. But
Isn't that just the plague?
You can see a good 2 on the back right there. You can. You see, it's my favorite one.
It looks
Right
like
there.
you've been picking at one of them.
Yeah,
Royalty
but-
such as yourself should be employing someone to pick thine humps.
Well, this is why I was exiled. They took away my
Hump picker, sir?
my hump pickers. My lovely lady hump pickers.
Well,
'Tis a tragedy, naturally.
regardless, it is an honor, your most bulginess.
Oh, that's me.
If your lordships and kingships and Skipley Pondiness would love to come and see what I have made the most wondrous vessel of all time. It goes beneath the water. I was thinking of calling it a beneath sea.
How did you not think to bring it to us?
It's in the
Very
water.
Got
Your
nowhere
most
else to go,
kingliness.
so why not?
My many apologies, sire. I most thought that maybe I shouldn't take a vessel designed for the sea out of the sea. So
Stand back, your grace. It may be a trap. Nothing
I left it in the
exists
water,
below
sire.
the water, except for the dragons.
Oh,
Good
yes, the
thinking.
dragons.
Good thinking, first mate. Always
Thank
on
you,
the top of
Alicia.
your game. Watch this humpy one. Show us your art project, I suppose.
Science project, sire. But yes, of course. This way, please do come. Don't mind the limp. I ate dairy yesterday.
You wouldn't. Who's dairy?
That's the name of my chicken. So-
You can't
We
do
love
that.
chickens, don't we?
yes.
Oh, there has to be a certain amount of chickens at all times.
You must be a very wealthy individual to have a chicken to yourself.
Hmm.
I am a world-renowned scientist, sire. It's why you hired me.
Yes,
For your chicken?
he's a world-renowned scientist.
For my science.
I want your chicken.
I ate it, sire. Yesterday. It was called dairy, apparently.
When's it coming out again?
3 days.
3 days.
I don't know, I'm not a
Isn't
doctor.
it against the law
Just a
to
scientist.
slaughter a chicken?
I wasn't aware of that, sire. If you have indeed made it a law, I will make sure to not own or eat chickens again.
You were unaware of the deep-seated law within our governing bodies not to eat the chickens that run the equator of our world.
This is not
And
an-
yet you think that we will get inside a submersible vehicle you have invented.
Alicia, that's an excellent name. A submersible.
Much better than Beneath Seer, I agree. Congratulations, sire.
The
You are
the
truly
king
a
has
genius.
proclaimed it's a submersible.
You're
Anesthesia
welcome.
sounds like a stripper, and you. I don't want to talk about it.
As we go deeper with it,
Oh, here we go.
The submersible sire or this conversation?
The
I need
submersible, of
someone
course.
to carry
Of
me
course,
to the
of course,
submersible.
Of course, the undersea thing you've invented. When it goes too deep, how does it go up?
Well, why don't I show it to you first, sire, and then we could talk about the mechanics of the vehicle itself.
I don't want to die in your cut and paste project.
Well, I will show it to you, sire, and then I can talk about how it works before you get in, if you do indeed wish to enter the upsy downsy underneathy.
I'll go in, whatever.
Where is it? I can't see it.
If I die, then I die. What
Send
else?
the
have I got?
humpy one. Let's see it.
Send me. How is
Forward with
the
you, humpy
doorway
one.
shaped for hump?
I'm afraid I have not made the submersible completely hump accessible yet.
I can't. I'd like to walk in a doorway sideways. Otherwise, I can't sleep. I can't sleep anyway. I have not since I've been.
You've never slept. Don't lie to
Not
us.
since the problem.
Not since the event of '95.
Not since that moment. I was a prince, you know.
Yes, sir.
People
Now you are but
respected,
just the most humped.
respected me.
Should we go see the
Please,
by any-
please.
Yeah,
Yes.
This way, please.
Please.
So, I have really outdone myself with this technology, sire. That's all I really have to say from the start. I have designed a system within the subsea vehicle that will take on water, and I have designed two magical dials that adjust the density of said water, allowing us to drop deeper into the sea, while also changing the dials, of course, as you clearly would know, decreases the density and rises the subsea vehicle back up to the top of the sea. I'm not a mariner, I'm afraid. I don't know what the terms are.
But why would we want to come back? What is Thor's here?
Gitpon, has he cracked?
Skip on?
I thought you said Gipon.
Gitpon is first. Hell, get the cotton out
Guess
of
my
and
lead.
listen to the
Sponsored by
man.
Gipon.
Well, at least may you repeat your question.
What about the creatures under the water?
They're still
I
there.
mean, the dragons, Your Grace.
Under the water.
You can't see anything under the water. It's dark.
I'm just if we go under with his undersea, and something goes, then what?
Can't get worse. It's alright. I mean, I'm okay with.
You're very casual, aren't you? Excellent.
Yeah.
Send him. Let's go. I'd love to watch it.
Yeah, whatever.
Show me.
I'll
your
go
Send
in
him.
without the undersea. You know.
Is it similar to a carriage? We could call it an undercarriage.
The way
I would love to see the most humped in your undercarriage, to be completely fair.
Of course.
Yes, send him.
Well.
As deep as you possibly can go, obviously.
Of course, Your Majesty. This is the prototype. I've been calling it the D prototype
Oh.
because it's under the sea.
You are quite punny.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we have not been able to devise many weapons for this vessel. The one thing we do have is we have a big corkscrew on top. And now, what I'm thinking we can do is we can.
Why does that look like a large phallus?
Everything does.
Have you seen a corkscrew before, my liege?
What are you
I
talking
mean,
about?
have you seen a
screwing?
duck's phallus before?
No.
It's actually an explosive.
Not
corkscrew.
voluntarily.
As I said,
Have you
They're
made an
shaped as
undersea duck?
corkscrews.
not that nautical.
How you put the bookshelf together.
My thoughts, my liege, is we may proceed, is I think that's the nautical word, underneath enemy ships and create a hole with which we can enter from below.
You stop doing that with your hands.
So non-consensually penetrate other ships. Then what? We're now connected.
I see it as more as
Like a set of
creating
gonads.
see it as more as creating an entryway where one did not previously exist.
So then we
Penetration.
uncorkscrew and suck ourselves up into. I would love to see this happen.
I could perhaps, my liege, create a passageway in the corkscrew,
So the seamen could.
so the seaman
Enter
could
through
shoot
the-
into the bottom.
Excellent idea. Honestly,
I hadn't thought this far ahead, but it seems
it's
brilliant.
working out beautifully. This is what group work does.
Are you sure you're not a scientist, my lord?
I'm Paul. I can't read.
I never took biology, so
Are you just making up words now?
Are we role-playing the bang bus?
Feel inferior.
apparently.
I'm just making sure. Okay.
I'm not gonna...
US.
So, how many of these vehicles would you like, my lord?
I want to see it first.
Well, it's right there. It's you can see the screw. You can see the hatch where you go into it. I call it the doorway to go in.
You're a genius. That's why I call them doorway.
Yes.
So when you ride in it, you lay in it like a corpse.
No, you have little seats. I will include a depression in the seats for the many humped ones.
How many seamen will fit in this ball?
It's more of a tube, but I would say, of course, we can make larger ones if you do prefer. I don't want to say that. I can't.
Quality over quantity, to be honest. We don't want to be too girthy because then we risk losing speed, and if we're too narrow, we can't fit as much semen in the tube.
Of course. And you must consider
Can they just have to go along like a line of ants?
You must consider the motion of the
Army
ocean.
crawling.
The motion of the ocean could very adversely affect our seamen. Can we stop?
Have you accounted for tides and weather? I see no fins on the chode-like ship.
As I said, my lord, I'm a scientist, not a doctor.
Saying the word chode now. Just
It's canon.
no hiding it.
No,
Why are you so mouthy, Humpty?
no, there's no cannons, my lord.
Excellent. I didn't want any. What would a cannon do underwater? We've got the giant dick screw. We're fine.
Just a big screw, yes, my lord.
We don't want to go wrong if someone trips. You'd be firing the seaman out.
I think I'd like to see the semen penetration before I'd like to order multiples, to be honest. How did you discover it could go underwater and hold oxygen?
Well, it turns out, my lord, that when you close the doorway hatch that lets you go in the undersea, the air stays in there, my lord.
So how many men did we lose while you tried this? You know what? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
There are no
that
men.
seems
You only
like something
use
for.
gophers,
Yep. That would explain the excessive seagulls.
pigeons.
Aggressive
Are
seagulls,
they
my lord?
pigeons?
There are pigeons everywhere.
Well,
I
they're
didn't
either
wanna mention it 'cause
aggressive
I thought it
seagulls or
might bum
pigeons
you
with
out, but there's a lot of
switchblades.
dead pigeons here.
I think that
Humpty, are you killing the pigeons?
No, not anymore.
Do we have a doctor on board? Might be a good plan.
just
We
a
did.
scientist, my lord.
Turns out he can't swim, so
Unfortunate that we put a doctor on a boat that can't swim.
yeah. Why would the
Who's in
boat
charge
swim?
of hiring?
No, the boat can swim. The doctor can't swim, my lord.
You don't say.
Yes, my lord. Boat does swim. I have put it in. It is indeed in the water, and through the use of these handy. Look, they got little paddles that you can paddle through the sea with. Underwater, of course.
Well, how if we're paddling will that not let water in?
They're sealed paddles.
How long have you been working on this project in secret?
50 years, my lord.
You look amazing for your age. I'm going to say your skincare's on point.
It's the seawater. Turns out it's very good for the skin.
Also, the
This
constant
excites me
supply
muchly.
of
I would like
fresh
some
skin
hooers.
replacements.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Could we witness a demonstration?
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, let's bloody do it.
Why not?
Prince, you seem to be bleeding.
Me?
Are you alright?
Just from the soul, which is a bucket.
Mhm.
As is previously established in the lore.
Yes. Fresh water for the bucket, my lord.
Why is your soul bleeding?
Should we, like, is
I'd
that
love to see a demonstration, please. Get me out of this room.
okay?
Yes, this is awkward. Let's get in a closed submersible container.
Much less awkward. So, as you can see, here are the seats, my lord. I've opened the door and we've all walked in.
Have we?
Obviously, because I've said we had.
Oh, yes.
And you can
What
see
is this power you wield?
narrative power. All scientists have it, my lord.
Humpty, you've been in the ship for an hour alone. What is wrong with you?
He still isn't Humpty.
Oh, so that wasn't someone else I was talking to. Okay.
So here you can see, of course, the giant wheel with which you turn.
You're doing that hand gesture again.
He's fond of it. He knows it gets results.
Have you ever milked a cow, my lord?
So say you want to go up and down.
They're a lot easier than chickens to milk, I'll tell you that.
You can't milk a chicken.
No, you
can
can.
try.
That explains the nude chickens. I told you they weren't
He
pigeons.
used to squeeze him like a pepper grinder.
You squeeze a I'm learning lots of new
The
things today.
demonstration.
So how long exactly can we be underwater safely?
I would say up to a day, my lord, before we would have to recycle the air.
That is excessive, isn't it?
Up to a day. That could be like
Depending-
5 minutes.
Well, no, depending on how tightly you want to pack them in.
Is that a sex?
So there
thing
is a
again, or-
finite
No, no.
supply then
Okay.
Of men, I would assume so, my lord, yes.
of air.
Of air, yes, also that.
We have no finite supply of men. Have you seen how there's plenty of desperation in the city? It's fine. Is this not? Am I the only one who opens their eyes when we go to land? I don't know.
I haven't been back to the mainland for 50 years, my lord.
And that's the way it'll stay. Look how good you're doing, trapped, isolated out here by yourself.
Yes, my
Tell
lord.
me about it.
You like it, don't you? Tell us you like it.
I like it, my lord.
He likes it. Look at the grand things he's doing alone.
Wish I could unsee them. Don't touch that chair.
Why-
Why is it mysteriously crispy? Crunchy, even.
We did.
Crusty, one might say.
We did
Believe it's due
have.
to one of the seamen.
The seamen should bathe before they enter the ship, yes? Are we just filling this tiny pod tube with
Que-
filthy semen?
question, my king Jocasta. Did you get my memo about possibly setting up an HR department?
I can't read.
Of course, that would be it.
I do enjoy your pretty drawings you put under my bedroom door once a week, though.
Should have
I
sent it
pinned
in the
them
form of song.
on a cork board by my desk, and I tell everyone, look what he's done. He's so talented with his lines.
I do like to sketch, my lord.
Floopies.
I can read His Grace's notes on his behalf,
Thank you.
if the scientist would be so inclined.
Thank you, Skin
There's
Pond.
stacks upon stacks, if you'd like.
That's me the paper.
A novel, even.
The
Is
pa-
this why so many people have died?
The paper just says help. In tiny, tiny little writing. I haven't left my laboratory for 50 years. I'm being held by a crazy pirate king.
He
Right,
likes it. He tells me he
so-
likes it.
Unfortunately, I've forgotten my glasses, so from all I can see is, all hail the Pirate King, His Worshipful Holiness,
Yeah, that's
the Undefeated.
absolutely.
Hurrah.
My feelings precisely.
Your notes are beautiful. Like I said, I put them on the wall and I'm like, look how special he is.
Very nice and cursive.
Thank you. The loopies.
Not sure why so many of the stick figures are crying, but
I don't feel feelings anymore.
We demanded lubricant.
The weaker species will water from their face, yes. Do you water from your face, Dribble? You mustn't. What a waste. We haven't given you fresh water in 7 years at least.
That's why we call him Dribble, sir.
That's ridiculous.
I might do with what I could lick off the stalactites, my lord.
Are you drinking your urine?
He dribbles from his eyes.
He's
Sometimes.
drinking his urine.
Sometimes.
Explains
my lord.
the smell and the color of your teeth, my dear. So we fill the tube with semen. We corkscrew our ways
into the
into
bottom of the ship.
the backside of another ship. The semen disperse, and then what? Can the ship release? Or is it just a pair of gonads to said other ship
We
forever?
impregnate them with our own doctrines.
I believe under maritime law, the vessel then becomes ours, my lord.
Oh.
We already owned them all.
Not that one, your liege.
Yeah, that one's purple.
Well, we are also attempting to stop the or intercept the transportation of essence, my lord.
We could just sink them.
Right, but we could. Yeah, yes, my lord.
Wouldn't you like
It'd be
to have
another
more
2B
ships?
vessel full of semen underwater.
With this technique, my lord, we would capture the ship instead of sinking it and losing all the precious cargo that it'd be.
Can we repair the new orifice we've now created in the base of the ship? Or is the ship compromised? Because why would I want a compromised ship?
A brilliant point, my lord.
Or does it just forever? Seems unsafe.
Ooh. We could
Now.
maintain the screw to the ship until it is returned back to port, and then fill in the hole.
So like one girthy screw.
Yes, well,
Just a real backbiter.
Punch.
Once again, much like a duck.
Does it fall off
the ship.
in the ship? Perhaps we could design it so it just cracks off of our ship and we buzz away and it is the plug itself.
I could
Like a perma penis.
I'm not sure that's what I would name it, my lord, but I could include a detachable screw. So you could screw when you want, my lord, and then just
That's what I'm
run off.
saying.
Yeah.
And then the little ship can bust off once the semen's injected and the semen's doing its work, and then it's plugged. We're not compromising a ship we're doing all this work to take. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, and we can call it the hurried lover. It comes and goes.
He's a genius.
I didn't.
Why
see-
not?
I-
Your mind is something I'd like to delve into later at one point.
I didn't
You'd have
spend
been a
50
scientist,
years-
kill him and look in it.
I spent 50 years locked in this small room with lickable stalactites because I wasn't a genius.
You might have been a genius, but your mother was poor and you were cheap. So what are you gonna do?
I wasn't aware
I
you
like this
bought me.
idea.
That's good to know.
So we just need to feel safe from anything that might be underwater. And other than that, this is a grand idea.
Brilliant, my lord. I will start production immediately.
What do we do if other pirates discover our technology, these purple ships? Can we sink them then? I do enjoy the sound.
So if I remember, if I may, it's like blood.
Similar, with some screams.
I can, if there is a possibility of a leak in our security, my lord, I can create some type of de-battling system, because you remember how I called it a prototype D. I assume that the ships are going to be called Ds.
Oh, I like that. No, it's excellent. We could even make it look like a sea creature.
Yes, my lord.
Give it a
What
little
about one of
finny
those,
fin.
They call them like almost like they're named after the almond nuts. Because if he calls them D's, then there'd be D's nuts.
I like that.
D's nuts. It has a lovely ring, doesn't it?
Really does. Well done.
Well
Grace.
done. Excellent.
Congratulations.
You may have
everyone.
exactly 30 seconds of sunlight today.
Your Grace, we're in eternal darkness
There's
for
still
364 days of the year.
Too bad it's not that day, huh?
I look forward to.
Unfortunate.
I look forward to 200 days from now when the sun finally appears.
No, that
Then
was
may
your
I have
chance.
30 seconds of sunlight, Your Grace?
Today, but there's no sun. I was joking. He doesn't get sunlight. You know this. Look at his
Yes, Your
skin.
Grace.
And
I mean, you'll get sunlight in a year.
yes, my lord. Thank you.
You're still alive by then, of course.
I've survived this long, Your Majesty.
Why?
He's quite the survivor.
I ask myself that every morning. And I think we can end the scene.
Who else would you be asking, Dribble? Do you have anyone aboard this ship?
He's got all the
I'd like
human
to
faces
know.
of the deceased
They all
stapled
died.
to his walls. He can talk to.
Okay.
Jeremy, how are you? Same old.
We've answered the question about that submarine was created. Oh, so that's how you do a scene, everyone. Anyone?
Oh, is that how it is?
Yeah. Anyone following along and like, oh, I want to do. I also want to try Microscope with my friends. Maybe like I'd say use like half the sexual innuendo we used, but aside from that, it's pretty much how you do it.
Well, size doesn't really matter.
No, it's motion of the ocean.
Yeah.
Be honest, did we really have to try very hard?
No, it was just there.
Fucking wrote itself.
Multiple times during that scene, I was like, why did I set that up? Considering where I should have assumed it would go.
I mean,
If everyone in the chat would just like to give a quick little round of applause for everyone involved in that scene, it's very well done, everyone.
yeah, applaud me.
Witness me in my
Applaud
greatness.
Dribble. Poor Dribble.
Things when you wrote down the name Dribble, I don't know if anyone else would get this, but it was like from one of those old Barbie movies, and he was called Bibble. And he's like, this is Bibble. And he's like, what's a Bibble? I'm the Bibble! Ha! So I just
I
really
didn't
want
see
you
that
to
one.
speak in his voice.
The Teletubby moon rises.
Oh god.
And you're too young. Stuck away. No. Scar the baby son. You won't want to come back in like 365 days.
Oh, God.
I kind of love the invention of our submarines. Like, I love that it was invented by this sad, like, borderline albino Dribble that is a prisoner.
Got to find some way to get away, bless him.
I just
Yeah.
pictured like an airplane window shade, you know? Like I cracked it, but you know, it's forever
Sorry, I
night,
worked
so
it now.
just mean.
Imagine the
He instantly
smell.
burns. What's he eating? I was so the crew.
People?
Yeah.
He eats
I
his
got
own
there.
skin and then
The-
replaces it again with the people that he's killed.
The failed test subjects, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, the planet is
Recycling, he's
skin,
ahead of the
right?
years.
And
So he could have just like beached himself and been like Buffalo Bill style, like, you know.
He is. He's
It
a
puts lotion on
genius.
the earth.
Yes. So they're shedding his skin.
I think Dribble is going to become a major part of the lore of the like reason everyone's successful, like the dribble.
Dribble leads the
Oh my
revolution.
god! Like when your heart is so full, like your bucket is overflowing, it dribbles.
yeah.
That's like you got too much life going on at that point.
So that was that answered.
That was beautiful.
What is the first submersible? It's a big screw. It's a big.
It's the duck that does
screw.
raping.
Big screw.
So for those who don't know, ducks actually have explosive corkscrew penises. Like Krusty and I weren't fucking around. And every fall they fall off, and in the spring they grow back in relation to how many other males are in the area.
And that's why it's called fall.
Oh my god.
duck ponds are just dick.
So they are. They're full of dick.
Just
It's
dick.
like a wishing well. You know when you throw your pennies in there, and you wish for the ducks like, oh, hope my dick goes back, and it just kind of lets it go. Yeah.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
What it says we're gonna get this time round.
Oh, you can't do that. They don't have hands.
Birdie bot beans. Never know. You might get a little thumb mushroom. I end up with this horse thing that you can't even function as a duck. You die.
Mushroom.
Can't
You're
even
like
waddle.
dragging this thing behind you. You're like,
It's just like rocking back and forth because it touches the bottom of the pond. It's like a jack in the box, but it can't jack. It has no hands.
So,
Stop talking about
why does that
penises.
duck never leave the middle?
He looks happy though. Ow.
so
Ow.
Now we know why ducks dive.
It's not by choice.
I
They're essentially waterboarding themselves with their ginormous penises.
I have done my scene and my bit which I did my scene, which means that we go to Katie, who can now create something if you so desire, a period, a event, or a scene.
I want to create a period. I think
Okay.
like a you know how there's like the rise of the pirates, the pre-pirate era, the
Yeah.
golden age.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it the era of the sea or whatever, and it's basically like I think it would be post when pirates started transporting essence,
Okay. So
because it'd probably
after
become a way hotter commodity, so we'd start drilling deeper,
Yeah.
and then it caused some sort of earthquake, and basically like all the leviathans and all the deep sea things were like, what the fuck? It was like the most metal music video ever.
Okay.
Oh,
So this would be another period. And what is it?
What did I call it? The age of the Leviathan, I guess. The age of the sea. I think I just called it the age of the sea because
Okay.
whatever's in the sea, all the big things. I don't know if we've decided. We can decide on the name
Yeah.
later or change it later if you want to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But like it's the event post. We now know how to transport essence. So all these islands are like supply and demand. So we start drilling deeper for it and hit some fissure that
Okay.
earthquakes the ocean. 'Cause I think the oceans are covered in like fault lines and shit.
Hell yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, in our world, not necessarily in this world. Who knows? Like maybe it's camels. Is that how camels are born? Like underwater fissures?
yeah, they shoot
Just
up.
like,
created in the core of the
And when
earth
they
and
die,
slowly
they go, they
ascend.
like kind of
they
melt
return
back
back.
to the earth, and then the next camel shoots out of one of the humps.
So, would you say that? I guess in this instance, like the nations would work with the pirates because they're the ones who can transport the essence, which
Mhm.
I assume kind of leads to a truce of some kind to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Flimsy.
It's kind of like instead of just the pirates like forcing the monopoly, people are like, okay, we actually need you. Like you
But-
become useful.
It's probably like back. God, I hate it. It's probably like backdoor deals where they don't. It's not
Very
like
much.
public knowledge.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Flimsy / secret truce between pirates and I'll call it governments for now, to facilitate the transport of essence.
Yeah, maybe it's with those the earlier you mentioned like the Noble Navigation Academy. Like maybe it's with them. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Because those guys are all like, we're perfect and hoity-toity. Like we would never fuck around.
Yeah. And that maybe leads to things like navigators starting to work on pirate ships and stuff as the balance of power starts to swing. Okay, I like that. Which means next up is Happy.
Hello.
Hello.
So I was thinking I want us to do an event. I'd want it to be in the I forgot what we named it. The very last one.
The one I did?
Is the
The whale one, I said.
Changing the status quo, the final period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
No,
Yes.
the whale apocalypse is in the final period. Yeah.
So, I think it would be a bit after the whale apocalypse, but it would be sort of the ceremonious sort of like debate between like the camel emperor kings of the continents and the leaders of the pirates, because effectively there is no war in this sense, so it has to be politically resolved, and it would be agreements on terms of like what the pirates wanted, what access they wanted, and the rights for that of regular civilians. And it would be it would be like a month-long process of debating, which would then inevitably result in the obsolescence of piracy.
Yeah, it's kind of legit. It's kind of like what actually, like, I'm very, very loose on the history of it, but I think like what actually happened, like way back in the day when pirates were prolific, is if pirates like made an agreement with the government would like sanction their actions.
Privateers, yeah.
Yeah, they were privateers then, so kind of a similar concept a little bit, but maybe they weren't.
Yeah.
They're not dirty anymore.
Yeah, once the pirates are obsolete, all the former pirates become privateers and sail around in those dick-shaped vessels.
Yeah.
Privateers.
You just see in the ocean these little like corkscrews bobbing.
Yeah, they're just luxury vessels now.
Airbnbs, if you will.
So Safi, how happy with this are you? Event, the World Conference, all factions come together to reach an accord of how to reshape the workings of the world and the obsolescence of piracy.
Yes, I like that.
Okay. How is everyone feeling? Because I feel like we've covered things fairly decent, so we could probably do a crusty final, and if you're okay with that, crusty. And then,
yes, I know what is happening.
And then cool things if everyone's happy for that.
Yeah. I feel like we've covered a nice range of topics. So we've done different like periods,
me too.
events. We've even like we've done a very
part of the reason
innuendo-ish
is,
scene.
just in case we get another scene, like that could go on for a little while. So, but
I have such inspiration to paint something from this already. Like the world I have in my head is wild.
Oh.
Please excuse my animals. The goats.
Goat. I would like to see art created.
I mean, I do know there are a couple of people who sometimes watch who have done like, a little fan art or a little rendition of a scene or something. So hey, if there's anyone out here there who wants to create, do we have a name for this world?
Blub Harbor.
Blub Harbor?
Blub Harbor.
I don't think we do.
I'm just saying sounds. You can go with what you want.
That's how language works, I've heard.
I'm really bad.
Language is sounds, isn't it?
Okay, let's
That sounded like Love Harbor.
Yeah, Love Harbor, sure. There's an awful lot of reference to sexual innuendo.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I called it Love Harbor.
Love.
So this is the world. No, we're not calling it Nuttersville.
I'm into it.
You should.
Squelch Town.
So, if you'd like to do one more crusty, we'll tie things off with a crusty creation. Sorry, you have periods, events, scenes.
That one I said with the whales.
Yes, that's down on the final period.
That one.
So you mean an event, or do you want to enact that as a scene?
Event.
You want to make a new event?
No, event. Scene. Do scene. Go scene.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay, we got to do a scene for it.
Blue.
So, scene, whale apocalypse. Alright, and this will be, you essentially for a scene, you have to pose a question. that we have to act out for the whale apocalypse.
Would the world get together in time before it is too late?
Okay. Would the world get together in time, or will it be too late? So this, I would assume the setting would kind of be like a convention of world factions.
Yeah, it could be like, yeah.
So are we all agreed that Pirate King Jocasta should return?
Yes.
Well, how long they live in?
I mean, you know,
King is immortal.
The immortal King Jocasta.
The essence.
But yeah, Krusty,
Magic.
If you'd like to create some world leaders, characters for us to act out.
So a lot of time has passed.
Yeah.
So evolution might take place.
Yep.
Therefore, people have regressed to the size and just slender nature of earthworms.
Okay.
And so we're all earthworms.
Okay, I'll be Jim.
You can be Jim.
Does
another
that
one.
mean I can ask the question if someone would still love me if I was a worm?
Yes.
I love you.
You could ask that anyway.
So,
I wouldn't.
Worm
All 8 of your hearts.
peoples. And then, just what characters do we have here? Who are the names? What are their...
Well, you said Jim, so you got one. What does Jim do? He's a mechanic.
Worm, Jim, mechanic, and this is gonna mechanic, and this is gonna be sheepy.
There's also a worm whale hybrid who has sympathy for both sides. He's called Rascal because he's a little rascal, and he has a hat. Don't know if that's important.
Okay.
Magic hat. When you press it, it goes ah.
Okay. 2 more.
A bird. Let's go for the animal kingdom.
Sure.
Bird that wants to eat the worms.
Yeah. See, I thought about it. See, you think it's stupid? No, I definitely put it there for that reason. Can you trust the bird not to eat the worms? The bird is called what's his name?
Harvey.
Harvey. Sure, I can't think of the actor's name, but sure. Yes.
Am.
Michael Keaton.
Love Michael
I
Keaton.
love Michael Keaton.
There you go. And they're just another person who exists solely as a sound. No. One of the gods.
Oh, one of the gods. Any preference? Poseidon? I feel like you would be there.
The bucket?
Yeah, Poseidon, sure.
Is it like Earthworm Poseidon in a bucket?
But he's like full on Poseidon. So
Okay,
like they
he's
talk
full-on
and he's
Poseidon,
like, what?
So, I am representing Earthworm Jim, the mechanic. I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but I'm sure we'll find out.
Oh, you went for the mechanic thing. Oh, okay.
Oh, you said mechanic.
I did say, I just talk.
Okay, well, you know, it's your choice. I don't know.
But you gotta stop me.
Also, you get to choose first, Krusty, because you're creating this. Would you like to be Wormwhale Hybrid Rascal, Birdman...
Mikkel Ketten.
Birdman Mikkel Ketten.
Mikkel Ketten.
Or the
Mikkel.
representative of the gods, Poseidon Godman.
Poseidon Godman.
I mean, it's, you know, it's a whole kettle of fish, whatever you choose, really, to be honest.
There ain't no fish there.
Well, they're all flying towards the equator.
They've evolved to the point of fuck this. We're going to Jupiter. It's dark. We'll get lost.
There has been suggestions that you should be Poseidon Godman in the chat, so.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm like a god. Sure. Okay.
So Krusty will be Poseidon Godman.
Yes, I will.
Next up is Katie. Would you like to be Wormwhale Hybrid Rascal or Birdman Mikkel Ketten?
Saf, you got a preference?
I loved you in Batman, Mikkel Ketten.
It's It's Batman.
I'll be Bird.
James Batman.
You're gonna be Birdman. All right, I'll take worm whale hybrid rascal.
Okay. CK and
My big.
Safi.
But you're like a hybrid, so I guess you're just like regular size.
Medium. I'm like a ferret-sized
You're like
whale.
a child.
Wait, so is it a worm-sized whale or a whale-sized worm?
It's a hybrid, so it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Don't ask how it got to that point. Magic.
And so, we probably won't just go. I'll probably cut off this scene at some point because we don't want to go too long. But essentially, the scene is we are at a summit of the greatest minds on the world to try and come together and figure out how to fix this whale Armageddon. Sorry, apocalypse, and work together. So, let's see. You know what? I'll also just rename everyone's thing. So I am. What the fuck am I? I'm I'm Jim. The mechanic. Earth. I'll remember that I'm an earthworm. It's not something you can forget. And then we also have Mikkel Ketten. Mikkel. Oh, sorry, Mikkel.
I loved him in that other film he was in once.
We also have Poseidon Godman.
He's filling in a form and someone's like, last name? He's like,
Yeah. And then we have just simply Rascal, the worm whale hybrid. I feel like Jim would not get the meeting started, but if anyone feels like they would, I'm not sure. We're all sitting around a circular council table.
I thought you were about to say we're all sitting around a campfire.
Image. A real god-sized Poseidon.
Yeah.
Oh, an earthworm.
Earth. I am indeed an earthworm. That's true.
A whale worm hybrid, and Birdman Harvey are sitting at a table. I'm not even high.
you don't have to be. This is very real.
I mean, it gives a great reason to be later, I think. So nothing could be weirder than this.
Amazing. Oh my god. I feel like Poseidon would probably. I mean, the ruler of the seas.
Yeah, but
Your babies are our problem. Yeah.
I'll momentarily invoke the persona of squire, announcer, possibly referee.
Is it dribble again?
The chair recognizes Poseidon Godman to speak first. Please go ahead, your wetness.
Can I do? Did that work?
Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
for it.
good.
Yeah.
Roleplay. Okay, hang on. I can. Hang on.
Yeah, girl.
Poseidon is working out technical difficulties. Please stand by.
There seems to be a problem on this planet, and I'm waiting to fix it. What do you plan to do? My feet are wet.
Hello, everybody. Jim Mechanic Worm here. It's good to see you. What is problem?
Do you mean what is the problem? The whales are coming. What do you intend to do?
Well, I could build a wall. First thought, build wall. Keep whales away. Maybe some type of net. Could electrify net. 2 ideas. First up.
Has anyone else got any better ideas?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why I'm here, as I'm half whale, and y'all seem to be real against whales.
To be fair, whales are trying to destroy world. Not intentionally, perhaps, but through migration and movement.
Somebody clearly put them up to it.
Yeah, but one of y'all went out and fucked one.
I'm sorry. The chair recognizes Mikkel Ketten.
I'm so sorry, Mikhail, your moistness.
What?
Go ahead. see nothing wrong with what Bird is saying.
You must speak up. I've got my head in the clouds.
Where is that voice coming from?
It is coming from Representative Ketten.
Anyone else feel like their eardrums are bursting?
Do we have translator?
I'm a god. I got nothing.
Why do I feel like I'm being attacked by Smurfs? That reminds me. Stacy, records Fraggle Rock. I do not want to miss it because of this meeting.
Y'all, why do we have a bird here anyways?
You could also ask why worm, why giant godman who is always wet, and also why whale worm hybrid.
I did.
I believe.
Again, what?
I believe this is the hand we were dealt by our creator. Blame him. Probably
Not me,
him.
the other one. I'm the last one left. And my domain has covered this planet now, and you gotta bloody work it out, because I don't want to start again. I also can't interfere because I can't. Also, I'm lazy. It's like a riddle.
I think y'all should just give into it.
Explain.
Just let the whales take it. The water.
I don't.
Just take the water.
It's a whale sympathizer. Burn it at the stake.
I told y'all I'm a half whale. My baby crawled up in my mama.
Just wanted to shout that. Carry on.
I've only 8 hearts and you're breaking all of them right now.
We must acknowledge that people are dying due to the whale apocalypse. You sympathizing only makes you an ally. We must.
I am a damn whale.
And
half
in
whale.
the ocean. How are you breathing on land? This is very unrealistic.
You are also worm. Do not
The
forget
most
there's
serious
half worm.
face in the world saying whatever the hell you're saying.
Thank you. It's very serious.
It is very serious.
Look me
But no one's going around talking about killing worms now, are they?
Worms are not trying to destroy world.
I've stepped on about 78 of them since this conversation started, and I can only apologize.
It's okay.
You cannot
It
admit
happens.
that.
Thought my toes were wet
Mikhail,
because
did
of
you
the
just
water.
eat a worm?
Worm.
Did you just eat my Uncle Barry?
No.
I don't think this is gonna work, y'all.
I do agree. I fail to see why anyone would gather us to come to a conclusion.
Who did this?
I don't think we are the right elected. We're just like a jury duty kind of situation.
I
We
think
just randomly selected.
I think there is possibility that real meeting is going on elsewhere. We were given fake directions so to keep out of the way.
I was brought in handcuffs.
I
don't even have hands.
I must say, I am mechanic. I have no idea how I can stop end of world. Unless there is a meteor coming and possibly Bruce Willis is here somewhere.
No.
What's a Willis?
I killed Bruce with it.
No, it is a shame.
That wasn't very nice now, was it?
Son, you're a downer.
He was recklessly arrogant and he would have been no assistance to us. Now, by the looks of it, the whales are about 10 minutes away, so let's get this going, chop chop.
Okay, does someone want to get the harpoons?
Yeah.
Could
You're
somebody
7.5
burp the whale?
minutes away.
No, she's lying. She's warning them.
Kill her.
She's an unbeliever.
What does she not believe in Poseidon?
Why? Why
It's
you
like
gonna
that.
touch me like that? Can I inchworm up a wall as a whale?
Well, worm, so, yeah.
On the ceiling.
I will be honest, I am like 1 foot long. I cannot really stop worm whale. And I cannot
Y'all
go
can't get me up here, can you?
I can't even go up wall. Also, I cannot use my tools. I have no appendages.
Okay, well, I'll carry you in my mouth. Just... Oh, I'm just swapping. I'm not hungry at all. I'll carry you.
Are you trying to eat me?
You have to promise not to eat Jim the mechanic.
I'm not going to eat Jim the mechanic. I'm just
Michael
offering
Ketton,
a
we've had this
passive
conversation
transportation.
before.
No.
Okay.
My
Mikhail, you're
intentions are
drooling.
honorable.
Mikhail's drooling.
Gail is drooling. I don't know, birds can drool, but apparently can they drool? Maybe they could. I'm a god. I didn't have to go to school.
But it's not like you're god of birds. It's not something you.
I'm not god of birds or knowledge. I just
Exactly.
stand
I
in the
don't expect you to
puddles.
understand. So how dare you stand there and judge me, Mr. Tall, Percy Man? Oh, look at me. I've got a trident. Woo!
Okay, I will get
You
in.
dare mock the god bird?
Poseidon, she actually has your trident.
You have my.
I spelled it.
You son of a little
Mikhail
bitch
just got
bird.
your
How did you?
trident. Does anybody else feel fuzzy?
I will get in bird mouth. What is worse that can happen? I suddenly have to leave scene. Somehow it seems like blessing from God. Let's go.
I have nothing to do with it.
Why do I want to get in its mouth? I think I'm too big. Stop calling to me. She's calling me.
Come on, in you come.
I'm not sharing mouth with that. I say right now. It
Come on, Jim.
It wiggles way too much. It
Jim,
feels
don't
like
be silly. Come on, Jim.
no. I don't want to. I want to go home.
Okay, Jim, I'll take you home. Come on.
Why is whale mooing? That is weirdest thing that has happened so far.
Come on, Jim, I'll take you home. The
Yeah.
bus isn't running right now.
Okay, let's go. I'm scared.
Come on, in you hop.
Yes, hope. I hope. Am I dead? Beautiful.
It's mighty dark in here, Birdman.
I bloody knew that would happen.
So, we have now answered the question that they do not get along because one of the members, Michael Ketton, eats two of the other members of the council, and Poseidon, essentially is like, fuck this, I'm going home.
I just stand there in like essentially a big puddle.
I imagine Poseidon looks like the dude.
I was
It's like
I
a
was seeing him
bathrobe
as the dude,
with-
yeah.
A drink just like, man.
Oh.
I was just imagining it was like the Poseidon out with SpongeBob with like the ginger beard.
Just
Yeah.
like your opinion, man.
It's like your opinion, man.
Oh, I got the effects
Sir.
still on.
So we'll call it official end to Microscope there. Oh, gee, that was it's been a while.
I'm gonna be honest. This is one of the best campaigns I've ever played.
I really enjoyed
That was
whole-
supremely enjoyable. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I mean, everything. Like, we created a whole world story, you know, we experienced existence in just under 3 hours.
We built to life. We are mothers now.
We created, we experienced, we grew. Let's be honest, half of the stream was just basically innuendo and camels.
I mean,
What more
we
could they
wa-
want? Are you not entertained?
That's what I'll call this episode. Microscope, innuendo, and camels. Go. Biggest clickbait title I've ever made.
the most humped.
The most humped was
Oh god.
so
That was fucking beautiful.
yeah, I really like it's nice to have a little bit of structure, but like it's pretty free. Like the Microscope rulebook is, as a sidebar, like, you know, there's no sponsorship or ad or anything here. I just like the idea of Microscope. I wanted to give it a go, and we had
Awesome.
Stream is sponsored by the YouTube channel I Am Krusty.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Not by Poseidon Godman.
No, that would be silly.
Blasphemy. But yeah, essentially, like, I've had my own Microscope for a while. It seems like something that could be a lot of fun. We had a free show slot because Somnambulist, for those who don't know, is back next week. We're going to have the finale of that. And then yeah, we'll be moving on into next year. We've got 2 shows coming in January, and another one essentially in the works for very soon. So there'll be announcements and stuff over Christmas and everything. Aside from that, I want to say thank you very much to all three people here, aside from me, who agreed to come here and do this. They had no idea what they were doing or what they were getting into, let's be fair. But it is very nice to have Krusty and Classy Katie on for the first time on the channel, regardless.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for having me. Seriously, this was a blast. Like,
and
this is my jam.
Obviously, we don't have any of you on shows currently, but we'll have to get you on at some point for a full show.
No, it was a little humpy today.
It was a little humpy today, though. It is Monday. Monday's
I
hump.
try to maintain
Sunday.
like a nice PG channel. It is well, is it? I thought Wednesday's hump day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's meant to be like the.
Oh, it's the middle of the. Yeah, that makes sense. Why did I?
There you go.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
We're thinkers, though.
Fair enough. So yeah. Essentially, if you, all three of you, throw up a hey in chat, everyone who's watching currently on Twitch, click on their names, click that follow button. They go live sometimes. They do things. They do live streams. You should go check them out and give them a little bit of love when you get a chance. And if today is anything to go by, they'll probably be an interesting watch. Aside from that, obviously links will be down below in the YouTube video and everything. If you're watching on YouTube, go check them out that way. And yeah, we'll be back next week, but I think we could all do with a moment off camera and wandering off into the distance.
That'll give me more attention.
We could do a whole nother show if you like, just
all right
now. No. Okay.
Yay!
We're heading off for the night, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and unlike the usual, there won't be a big outro or anything. We'll just end. So thanks
Just
for
like
watching.
life with the whales.
Yeah, just ends.
Just ends.
Yeah. See you later, guys. Hopefully
Bye.
see you next week, and bye.